No mai hau, ki mai. Welcome in to Otautahi Christchurch, season 2024 of your basketball coverage, starting with the Sky Broadband Rapid League. First time in the men's competition after the introduction in 2023 in Tauhi, and it is at the home of the NZNBL defending champions. The Canterbury Rams are hosting the Nelson Giants. My name is Nick Bewley, back for another season behind the mic, and with me this season, excited to bring in Maya Williamson. Greetings, Maya. How excited are you about Sky Broadband Rapid League? You were involved with the Poakai last year, and when we saw the Rapid League introduction, for those unaware, 4 times 4 quarters. How exciting was it last year, and how excited are you for now the introduction into the men's competition?
Oh, mate, last year was incredible. It was such a great innovation, and it worked really, really well for the women's side. I found a lot of development for the back-end guys, and just a chance for the younger players to kind of get that experience, get their foot in the door before really coming to the big stage. And really rapid. Rapid League is a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, rapid by name and by nature. One of the things that we've introduced or changed from last year, no imports allowed to play in Rapid League, and the starters for the NZNBL game, which is at 7:30 tonight. Do stick with us for that one. Can't be involved in the Rapid League. So as you say, Maya, really good opportunity for some young talent to get some key minutes that they probably wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, there's a lot of talent in the NZNBL, so to give these young guys who are extremely talented a space where they can just compete and take the game to another level, I think it's a really great innovation, and I'm excited to see how it unfolds here tonight. Big
time. Oh, let's take a look at the two teams if we can, starting with the hosts, the Barbecue Direct Canterbury Rams. Aidan Tonge, we're pretty familiar with in these parts. Mana Martin, Tama Isaac, Ihaka Kate, and Will Blight. There we can see them in the nice pinstripe white and red strips. For the Nelson Giants, Caleb Chamberlain, Ernest Kerr, Aston Inwood, James Matthews, and Nick Davidson. Nelson in their baby blue. There are the starting 5. How do you see this one playing out? Like, two pretty obviously young teams, but Nelson just with 11 players total tonight, so we'll just be running with 6 in Rapid League as opposed to the Rams. They'll have a couple of extra bodies on the bench.
Honestly, the extra bodies goes a long way. Like we said, it is rapid, and you get up and down super fast, so your body can only handle so much. And these guys are going to be playing a lot of minutes in the NZNBL game as well. So without any bias, my pick here might be the Rams, but who knows, they could prove me wrong, Nick.
There is the Chemist Warehouse, head-to-head Chemist Warehouse, our official stats partner in season 2024, and we're underway. A bit of history made here in Otautahi Christchurch Cowles Stadium, the first ever Sky Broadband Rapid League men's contest, and it's the Rams with first possession. Tama Isaac, younger brother of Kaya, who will start tonight in the NZNBL contest. Just a little short on that 3.
It's a great high-quality shot for them, though. They've been working a lot of their dribble drive, and that was a great find from Mana, and you trust Tama to shoot that all day, every day.
Here is young Matthews, back to Inwood. Oh, nice ball distribution there, and first points of the afternoon, evening belong to Ern Kerr.
Lovely ball movement from the lads, and they're playing at a really nice Rapid League pace, and yeah, it's going to be up to the Rams now to answer.
Here is Tonge up high. And get to his left hand, and does so. Nice finish there.
Tonge is taking a really huge step up in his game now. You can just see he's so much less hesitant than he was last season, and those 3x3 skills are now really transferable to his 5-on-5 game.
Yeah, I was going to say, very well versed in the 3x3 game. Aidan Tonge was part of that Canterbury Rams team that went all the way at the Cup in Invercargill last year. There's Kate now. Closed out there by Chamberlain. Third time lucky, eventually up and in. That is Mana Martin.
Young Bucks obviously just shaking off some nerves. You can see trying to get into the offense a little bit more now. Attacking that hard show coverage with a nice solution off that messy pass.
And good contest down the rebound. Chamberlain, who's pretty familiar in these parts. Ex-Shirley Boys High. Get an opportunity up in Nelson. As Ernest Kerr again.
Yeah, Ernest Kerr showing his dominance, proving to be an integral part of this offense really early, and he's finishing really well through pressure. He's had one on either side, so it'd be nice to see him get going a little bit more tonight.
The ball movement again, such an asset and part of the Judd Flavel fabric. As Isaac now almost loses the handle, gets a shot up, gets it back eventually. Just can't finish, and Inwood tidies up for the Giants.
Not often you're going to see a missed floater from Tama Isaac, I'll tell you that much.
And first foul and one. Opportunity here for Aston Inwood as the Giants look to jump out to a 3-point lead. Subs in, double sub for the Rams. First time this afternoon we see Hugo Gonzalez and Corbin Mason.
Yes, some new names, obviously. Both missed out on the squad last year, so cool to see them get their own contracts. And now, obviously, with the introduction of the Rapid League, they get some minutes as well in front of their home crowd, which is awesome. And
a change too for the Giants, and comes Adam Barton as Inwood takes a seat. 1:46 to go in the first quarter of the first ever Sky Broadband Rapid League male contest. Wednesday night hoops 2024, we're underway. Nice little left floater there, tied it up by Mason. These second chance opportunities here for the Rams, just got to make them pay. It's Isaac now, corner. Can't get it to drop. Chamberlain tidies up. Yeah, multiple high-quality looks for the Rams, and all things that are part of their offense and what they're searching for. They just can't knock them down at the moment. It's a little cold early. It's been a bit cold today. Summer's over down here in the 03, I can tell you that. There's pressure here on Chamberlain, and Tama Isaac comes up with the steal and the finish. Well, Tama gets the reward for that. All credit goes to Will Blight for that incredible hard show. That's what he does best. His defensive hard shows. Nothing like it in this country. So the Rams cut the Giants' lead to just one as we get down to the last minute here in the first quarter, as Nick Davidson gets to work, and foul called in the act of shooting. You can see Giants just really trying to get to the rim, and it's paying off for them. Their second trip to the line in only 4 minutes, and all their points coming from just the interior. Fouls on Hugo Gonzalez. And makes them both. Davidson, I was just thinking there, Miles, respectfully quiet in here for an opposition player at the free throw line. Not sure if that'll continue through to 7:30 in the Sal's NBL between the Rams and the Giants, the neighbours in the mainland, as Gonzalez slings that over to Kate in the corner. Can't make it go. It's a couple now in that right corner, but good hustle there. And again, Rams will have possession. Yeah, Rams super fortunate that they're creating themselves second chance opportunities at the moment, because not a lot going on for them offensively. A lot of missed shots. Just can't get anything to drop at the moment. So about a 3-second differential between game and shot clock here. Last chance you'd think for the Rams as Ihaka Kate goes to work with the left and gets the finish this time. Giants lead cut to 1. How aware are the Giants of the clock? Doesn't look like Nick Davidson's too aware. Going to have to get something up here quickly. Barton, nope, can't beat the clock. And that'll do it. First quarter. Giants lead 9-8. As you mentioned, Maya, a lot of points. All the points, I think, in fact, Nelson coming in the paint. Yeah, so they're obviously, last year, they were a very perimeter-focused team. They like to shoot a lot of threes, and that seems to be the Nelson style overall, especially in their younger grades. But obviously, they have the height and the manpower to do so. They're going all forces ahead, trying to get to the rim, trying to get the hit on the rim, and it's worked well for them today. Rams, conversely, 4 from 12 from the field. It's at a 33% clip. And yet to fire from beyond the arc. None from 3 so far. But, yeah, contrasting styles early doors. As we take a look there at the Rams bench. Max Darling in frame there too. We'll see him at 7:30 this evening as part of the opening Sal's NBL contest between the defending champion Canterbury Rams and the Nelson Giants. Sal's on board again. It's fantastic. $30 NBL steel combo. Early doors. Get that today. Get it over Easter. Scan that QR code there on your screen.
Nick, are you scanning it?
Maybe later. I'll save myself. I just fit it into the suit tonight, so...
Get yourself a bigger suit. Treat yourself.
So Nelson will have possession to start the second quarter. 1 point lead. Inwood back in, so quick substitutions, as you expect with a 6-man rotation here in Rapid League. And here is Ashton Inwood now. Matthews has it now, 9 on the shot clock. And good read there by Hugo Gonzalez. And just takes a fall, loses his footing. And it's back with the Nelson Giants. Chamberlain running the floor. He's bouncy, but just puts it up and in with an easy 2 there.
Great job, Giants being lag-free on that turnover and just getting out. Bodies in front. Caleb Chamberlain, long strides. That was a pretty easy finish for him.
Heard he won the dunk contest at the West Side preseason blitz.
He did. If I was there, he would have gone down, Nick.
Here we go. Here we go.
That was a nasty one he threw down, though.
And a travel called there on Gonzalez. So just a couple of turnovers there by the Rams.
Yeah, Giants are showing a lot more poise than the Rams are. They're looking like they're experienced. They're running through the offense and getting quality shots. A couple of unforced errors early here from the Rams.
These guys, by and large, familiar with themselves through the Nelson region. And played a fair bit of club basketball, rep basketball together in age groups. As Davidson now, 5 on the shot clock, needs to make something happen. That's a really nice finish, Nick Davidson. And largest lead of the ball game, 13-8, 2:42 to go in the second quarter.
Nick Davidson did a really great job there, just seeing his gap, seeing his mismatch. Had foot speed on him, real shifty guard. I like that he's getting to the rim. And Corbin Mason looking to do the same.
And here they come again, the Giants. At speed, as we expect, as Pike gets in the way there, but again, back the way of Nelson. Chamberlain, Davidson, just being as patient as you can possibly be here in Rapid League, the Giants. Using all 24 seconds as Davidson, oh, nice, fine down low, and then kicks it out. Matthews, Inwood, oh, that would have been lovely. A good hustle again. Ends up, though, back the way of the Rams, and the foul called on the visitors.
Giants playing a very nice style of basketball right now. They obviously had that backside cut, and then James made a really good decision to make that kick out. Rams just struggling to defend all the actions of the Giants right now, and they're just playing with some absolute poise.
Yet to add to their first quarter total, the Rams halfway through the second quarter, 13-8 it remains, 4-0 in the second stanza. Can they get something going here? The barbecue direct, Canterbury Rams. Oh, the lid is over the rim at the moment for the home team. Just nothing dropping.
Yeah, you can see a lot of nerves at the moment. Probably shots they would typically make, but the Giants are making no mistake.
Ashton Inwood up and in. He leads all scorers with 5 points. And still just cold from deep. The Rams at this point in time. And 7-point lead might not feel like much, but in Rapid League, it's pretty much double digits. And now it could go to a double-digit lead. Nick Davidson with an and one opportunity.
It's not often that you see a double-digit lead in Rapid League either, with just a short amount of time and the scoring caliber. But Giants just all over them at the moment, and Nick Davidson looking to eat up tonight at the rim.
Nelson Giants shooting 66% from the floor, 6 from 9, and 6 from 8 from 2. It's the 1 miss and 1 attempt from 3, and that tells the big story of this one. The Rams, conversely, none from 4 from beyond the arc, and down by 10 with a minute and change to play in the first half. Good ball movement here, though. Gonzalez just can't find Will Blight. Here come the Giants once more.
Yeah, made a great read off that cut and slide. Probably should have just laid that one up, especially at the moment. They're really needing to get a bucket on the board.
Chamberlain in the corner, first 3 in Sky Broadband Rapid League. The season 2024 belongs to Caleb Chamberlain. 21-8, the Giants.
Yeah, so it probably heard me at the start of the game when I said it could have gone the Rams' way. Absolutely punishing the Rams at the moment. We're really struggling. I think a lot of their looks are high-quality looks and looks that Judd has taught them to play within their system. But like you said, just a lid on the rim at the moment.
Can they change that here? The Rams 12-0 the way the visitors in this second quarter. And a turnover. There really is a microcosm there of this second quarter. Tonj unhappy with the call. Good pressure there by Isaac. He'll go again, Nelson. Just wants 1 second taken off the shot clock here. 2 seconds, in fact.
It's the little things. It's the little things.
Sticklers for details, the officiating crew, but we would be nowhere without them. Good crowd in early. Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. 7:30 Sal's NBL action underway. Defending champion Canterbury Rams against the Nelson Giants. Fair bit of cohesion and chemistry on the Rams side in terms of sticking with their young core. A real new look to the Giants.
Yeah, surprising lineup for the Giants this year, and has you biting your teeth a little bit, wondering what they're going to do, re their imports. But you can always trust Mike Fitchett to pull something out of the bag.
Yeah, well, they pulled something out of the bag in the form of Dan Fortu.
Oh, absolutely.
Down from Franklin. Looking forward to seeing him as Isaac now finally has something to show for their effort in the second quarter here, the Rams. But it's been all Nelson Giants. A 12-2 second quarter has them up 21 points to 10. And the halftime break, just a 3-minute break, then back out there. But what are you seeing on the Nelson side in particular, Maya, that's going so well for them?
Like we spoke about, they're just getting to the rim. They're moving the ball really nicely. They're utilising their on-ball screens through Nick Davidson and James Matthews and making really good decisions out of that. Mike Fitchett has obviously trained them well. They make very much good reads. I think a lot of them, they play a lot of rep, like you said, in club basketball together, so they're used to making those decisions and working in cohesion with each other, and they're getting at the rim and finishing, and if not, they're getting themselves to the line. So everything's working for them at the moment.
Yeah, and it's a real shared effort as well. Like looking at the box score here at the minute, Nick Davidson leading the way, hasn't missed. 2 from 2 from the field, and 3 from 3 from the free throw stripe. But Caleb Chamberlain with 5 points, Aston Inwood 5 points, Ernest Kerr 4 points, James Matthews and Adam Barton yet to open their account. And that's probably just symptomatic of the ball movement too. It's not just landing on the shoulders of one player to lift this team, as we take a look at the points courtesy of our official stats partner this season, Chemist Warehouse. Tama Isaac out in front so far for the Rams. And while the rebounding side is creating those second chance, even third chance opportunities for the Rams, it just still isn't dropping. What is it now? 5 for 17, 29% from the floor. So they've actually put up 5 more shots than the Giants, yet they find themselves in an 11-point hole.
Yeah, well, 6 offensive rebounds in those 2 quarters. Quite a high number for the Rams. And like you said, they're generating second chance opportunities for themselves, but what a lid the rim has on it. I mean, you know, it's those nerves, right? These guys are young. A lot of them making their NBL debut. However, I know these are high-quality shots that the coaching staff has prepared them for. So at this point, they've just got to see them go through the hoop and just find themselves a little bit more rhythm in that sense.
And let's not forget, every bucket counts in season 2024. For those unfamiliar with Sky Broadband Rapid League, the points contribute to the overall for and against for the Sal's NBL ladder. And if you're tied, wins, losses, which in a competition as close as the Sal's NBL, I can almost put my house on it right now. It'll happen somewhere or at some point of the season anyway. The first separator between the two sides is points for and against. So even though they're in an 11-point hole at the moment, the Rams want to make sure they are making as much as possible, because it does have a big impact, or could have a big impact further down the line.
Yeah, I think it's a great innovation to incentivize a lot of competitiveness. And for this Rapid League, again, like you said, it's important for these boys to become scorers and to learn how to get at the rim and put the ball through the hoop, Nick.
Well, at least they're going the other way now, so who knows?
Maybe that's it. The Giants, they're not going to have any more luck.
So it's the Giants up by 11, Rams with first possession here in the second half. It's Mason, Blight, Isaac. Pick and roll action, good ball movement here, and Corbin Mason will fire away. And no change in fortunes here, early doors for the Rams. It's back with James Matthews and the Nelson Giants.
Another great look, though, a great short roll from Will Blight, and a great decision to kick out. But again, just that lid on the rim.
And I guess that's the positive outlook that the Rams coaching team has travelled there on Matthews. They are creating the looks, and you don't want to discourage the shot just because you're shooting at 28, 29%.
100%. They're playing within their system. It's what they've been taught, and they're executing good reads under pressure. So not much more you can do. I think just for the Rams, don't settle for an outside shot. With their size, they can definitely look to get on the rim.
There's Mason, right in the corner, and a little long again. Chamberlain gets it back to Inwood. It remains an 11-point ball game here. There's Chamberlain now. Oh, it's tried to thread the needle. And last touched off the shin of Kerr. I believe it'll be Rams ball.
They'll be thanking the heavens for that one. Don't want the lead to get out any further than it is at the moment. Would love to see the Rams get on the rim a little bit more now. Turn the corner instead of just settling for outside looks.
There is Isaac. They go to Gonzalez in the corner. You might have heard Jemiah. Pulls up. A little short jumper. And the Rams are underway in the third quarter.
Cutting down that lead now to single digits. That's encouraging for the Rams to see.
Perhaps just a tactical foul there to reset from Gonzalez. As Nick Davidson is back into the game for Ernest Kerr.
Nick Davidson spent some time overseas, high school in America actually, so obviously upped his game a little bit more. Obviously the level of competition over there, a little bit higher caliber than it is in New Zealand, so good to see he's upped his skill a little bit more and now competing really well here today.
A foul down low, that's on Will Blight. Take a look at the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay there. And there is that three-point shooting, none from 6 for the Rams. Do they just put that shot away for now? We haven't just seen the one attempt so far in the second half as Davidson finds Chamberlain in the corner. He'll fire away from 3, just a little long. And the big body presence of Blight tidies up for the home team.
Well, Blight playing a lot of his friends, obviously, a Nelson boy his whole life until this year moved down for university. And there he is, the big man, putting points on the board. Nice touch with the left. It's just eating into this lead ever so slightly, the Rams. 21-10 at halftime, 21-14 now. 1:52 to go in the third. Davidson just gets that pass over the top, but well read there, Corbin Mason. And it's the Rams making inroads in this third quarter, mounting a comeback. Oh, the no-look pass, well read by Inwood, and then the acrobatic effort over the head. Keep the ball in play. Amazing show of athleticism. I envy that a little bit. Wide open. 34, Adam Barden just couldn't get the 3 to fall, but it was a great find there by Davidson. Here is Kate. Nice spin, stop, and swatted by Chamberlain. When you're struggling to get any looks offensively, you end up settling a little bit, and we can just see that now from the Rams. That probably not a high-quality shot for the Rams, and results in getting blocked, and now giving away 2 cheap points to extend that lead once again. Nick Davidson is quietly up to 9 points, leading all scorers for the Nelson Giants. We lead by 9. 38 seconds to go in this third quarter as Kate slings it to Gonzalez in the corner. Oh, everything but drop there for Hugo Gonzalez. And an 8-second game shot clock differential here as Nelson just turn it down ever so slightly. Last possession likely for them. And here is the hot hand, Davidson. Can he go to double figures? Yes, he can. Nick Davidson putting on a clinic. Yeah, he's attacking these guys off the dribble and able to finish. And now Giants have a chance to extend their lead once again. How about that?
A quick 4-point run, 6-point run in fact. They go from 21-14 to the good to 27-14. And it's all the Nelson Giants, who led by 11 at halftime. It's now a 13-point lead with a quarter to play.
Yeah, Rams looked like they were getting a little bit more comfortable. They got to the rim. They had a couple nice interior finishes. And then once again, Giants just blowing it up. Nick Davidson, man, leading the charge.
Well, interestingly, Nick Davidson, must admit, I'm not sure if it caught you by surprise, Maya, but going through the fantastic player profiles that are built, shout out to Mike Lacey. And yeah, early this afternoon, couldn't spot his name there, and then all of a sudden saw the player status report, and I was like, okay, better get him there in the mix. And here he is, leading all scorers with 11 points here. And you're right, just suits his style of game. He's very aggressive, not hesitating at all, and he's flourishing here. It's great to see.
He absolutely is flourishing. His type of game is he's very shifty, he's very speedy, loves to get to the rim with his pace, and loves to pull up jumper. We haven't seen that yet today, but why settle for that where you can get to the rim? This really does suit his style of play. He's come a long way. He's in his 3rd season for the Giants now. He debuted at 17 years old, still a young kid, and he's had a lot of great experience. Under 17 New Zealand team, Stephen Adams camp last year, and obviously did a season overseas at Potter House Academy in America. So yeah, that experience for him at a young age has really served him well, and now he's cooking in Sky Broadband rapidly.
Final quarter here, a long way to come back, you feel, for the Rams, but as mentioned earlier in the call, every bucket counts. You don't want this to get real ugly. And Nelson start with possession. Giants through Davidson. Barton just can't finish, but gets his rebound. Chamberlain now. And just resetting. Time is very much on the side of the visitors. Davidson, a lovely pass. Kurt just got his feet set in an awkward position there and unable to finish. Here come the Rams now. And a lovely finish. Just what the doctor ordered there for the Canterbury Rams. Mana Martin with an and one opportunity.
Can't think of a better way to open the quarter for these guys. They got a stop and a bucket at the other end. Serves them well for momentum, but however, we only have 3.5 minutes left to play, Nick. Obviously, these games are fast, so everything matters from Rams for here on out.
Completes the 3-point play, cuts it to 10. And a bit of miscommunication there on the Giants side, eventually inbound. Davison a little bit frustrated with his teammates there, wanting an option. It's Kerr, finds Matthews. Back to Davidson, 6 on the shot clock. Probably back himself here, Nick Davidson, you feel it's been his night. And puts up a prayer, one far away from falling down, gets the whistle and a foul. And 2 shots, I should say, coming up at the free throw stripe for the hot-handed Nick Davidson.
Absolute coach killer, that one. You play an entire shot clock worth of great defense and you foul at the last second off a prayer. And this may work in the Giants' favor. And obviously, if you're Rams, you've got 3 minutes to get as many stops as you can, and not working in their favor at the moment.
28-17 in favor of the visitors as the crowd continues to build here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Davidson makes both. Special night, of course. Championship banner raising night. The end of a 31-year drought. 1992.
Don't forget that one.
1992, the last title prior to the title-winning team of 2023. That's a nice tip in by the Rams. Gonzalez, I think it was. Just to keep the scoreboard ticking for the Rams, but still plenty of work to do.
What matters now is their defensive effort, and it's that guy that's going to be the issue. Nick Davidson, try and keep the ball out of his hands.
There's Caleb Chamberlain with it now. And they'll go back to Davidson. What can he conjure up on this occasion? Oh, just slings a gorgeous pass to Ernest Kerr. Just eats up an easy layup. That is exquisite. Davidson. What do we have? MVP, Rapid League MVP, I believe. Justin Nelson will probably message me within the next 60 seconds. But my points, it's a no-brainer here. Nick Davidson, what a game.
Absolutely, just showing a really mature class of basketball. You could just see his decision-making, executing really well under pressure, threading the needle and able to get to the rim, showing himself to be super versatile at the moment.
I guess it's decision time here at some stage, you feel, for the Nelson Giants coaching team, having brought down the 11 players. When you look at someone like Davidson and go, job done here, maybe we get him out of the game, get an extra minute 40 of rest. Nice drive there by Mana Martin, late whistle.
It's a good point there, Nick. Like, if they have only 11 players with them.
And he's done.
Wow.
Just like that, you know. Don't want to say I read the script or anything, but, you know, I did see it a bit in Tauahi, as you'll know, Maya, and they were under different rules last year. There he is, immediately.
Thank you, Justin.
Doesn't miss, yes. Rapid League MVP points up for grabs. As we have our first player timeout in Sky Broadband Rapid League season 2024. Can't go back to the benches, just involving the 5 players from each team on the floor to just talk things through. But yeah, Nick Davidson, well, his Rapid League night looks done. And what have we got, about 25 or so minutes, half an hour until NBL. And you think maybe, especially with no Sam Dempster, I know, you know, out with a foot injury, might be some key minutes to be played in Sal's NBL coming up for Nick Davidson.
I think we might see a few of these guys on the floor tonight, getting some more minutes in the Sal's NBL game. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Huge block from Aston Inwood. The Rams' chances dwindling away.
Yeah, it's just about limiting damage here now for the Barbecue Direct Canterbury Rams. Giants up by 12 with a minute and change to play. There's Chamberlain. There's fakes, finds Inwood in the corner. Oh, not far away there either, as Kate tidies up. And tries to do it all himself, Ihaka Kate. Martin with the rebound. Here's Tama Isaac. Nice pass there to Blight. Just a little short, though. And another player timeout. So the Giants, and I'm sure they'll be aware, Meyer, of that points for, against. There's so much to play for down the line. Currently, what, plus 12 here. That goes towards the Sal's NBL ladder. So they'll just be looking at finishing with a flourish here and getting through a set and hopefully adding to their haul, which has been, what, 31 points so far. Very impressive.
Yeah, 31 points is a lot of points to total in our 16-minute games, but absolutely, Nick, these guys might struggle a little bit in their Sal's NBL game with such a short-handed roster, so for them, every point they score in Rapid League is really going to matter.
Chamberlain with the inbound, finds Matthews. Tama Isaac all over him. Aston Edward now. And Barden in the corner drains the three to Adam Barden. That's to put the cherry on top of the icing, which is all over this Nelson Giants cake. What a way to start. 24 is Mana Martin. Nice pull up mid-range from the elbow. 34-21 as the shot clock goes off here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. And the Nelson Giants, we first on the board. No, not quite yet, but they will be, I can tell you for free. We just have a whistle and a foul here first. And the Giants with 4.7 seconds to go, up by 13. Looking to push out beyond that 13-point lead here if they can. I think James Matthews is happy enough to just settle for a brilliant victory early doors for the Nelson Giants. 34 points to 21. A real statement performance for them early doors, running with just the 6 players. Nick Davidson, exceptional. Top scoring with 13 points, 4 from 5 from the field. And a perfect 5 from 5 from the free throw stripe. He led the way. Contributions too from Ernest Kerr with 6 points. Caleb Chamberlain with 5 really helped get the Giants across the line to open a big night here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Championship banner raising night, and we'll send it down shortly. Trying to make sure co-commentator Maya Williamson is in position. Looks like she's got Nick Davidson, just as the Rams get through their warm-ups ahead of Cowles NBL, will send it down to Meyer. We'll just hopefully go back to that interview at some stage, just a little tech issue.
Overall went well.
We learned that we got to control the pace of the game. It's a really fast game, 4-minute quarters, so making sure we're maximising on every possession is the thing. And I think we did a really good job taking the right shots, not rushing into the offense.
And you played really well. You got to the rim really well. What are you taking with you from that game going to the Cowles NBL game?
The same, really. Just my poise, I think. Keep on getting to the rim, finding guys like Fortu, Greta. They'll be able to hit shots just like the Rapid League guys did.
So thank you so much and good luck.
Bit of a break before returning in Cowles NBL action coming up as we take a look at both teams making their way onto the floor here, get through their warm-up for Cowles NBL. But that is us for now from Cowles Stadium. Don't go anywhere, as mentioned, coming up at 7:30, live Cowles NBL coverage. Opening round clash between the defending champion Canterbury Rams and the Nelson Giants. Before then, though, and after a short break here on Sky Sport, highlights from last year's matchup between these two great teams. We'll see you back here at 7:30.
Nelson Giants. Next tonight for the Nelson Giants, number 44, Nick Davidson. Wearing 35 is James Matthews. Number 7, Caleb Chamberlain. 23, Aston Inwood. Wearing 12 is Ernest Kerr. 34, Adam Barton. That is the Nelson Giants. Now to the starting side tonight. Wearing 0 at guard. It's Alex McNaught. Joining him at guard, number 13 tonight for the Nelson Giants is Hayden Jones. On the wing, number 9 is Tom Ingham. Number 11, Daniel Breeder. And number 42 and forward, it's Daniel Fortu. He coached the Nelson Giants since Michael Fisher.
And before we announce your Wheeler Motor Company Canterbury Rams tonight, Cowles Stadium, if able, please stand on your feet and turn your attention to the back wall, where you can see and celebrate the 2023 NBL Championship banner. The first championship for our Canterbury Rams in 31 years. Make some noise for our Canterbury Rams.
Basketball is a movie, and every game is a blockbuster. E for excitement, entertainment, energy, and epic. Cowles NBL 2024 is rated E.
Help me up, never let it fall. Help me roar like an animal. Back to the bone. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone. I don't care what you think you got.
Kia ora, nau mai, haere mai, welcome into the home of your 2023 champions in the Cowles NBL. As you can see there, the Canterbury Rams. We're here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Season 2024, just moments away from getting underway. The Rams hosting the Nelson Giants. My name is Nick Bewley, here alongside Maya Williamson for this evening and this season. Maya, great to have you on board here at Sky. Well, we just saw the banner unveiling, if you will. Pretty exciting times, of course. A 31-year championship drought. How special was last year, the Canterbury Rams?
What an amazing year it was for them. Such a rewarding experience. Obviously, you never know going into the playoffs how it's going to end, and what a tight clinch it was for them to finally bring it home. Such a great sense of pride and just such a special moment for them and for Judd Flavell and all the work that he's done with the Rams over these last few years.
100%, and a fair few familiar faces returning in 2024 for this Wheeler Motor Company Canterbury Rams side. Taylor Britt, Kaya Isaac, as we can see there at the free throw stripe. Talking to Judd Flavell at the season launch, he seemed to think cohesion and continuity a big part of their push to go back-to-back.
Absolutely, they have a great crop of their championship squad. Obviously, Walter Brown still to return as well. We've got Max Darling, Aiden Tonjan, some of their younger guys as well. They've played with each other for a while now. They know the ins and the outs. They play a really nice style of basketball. That continuity from last year, not a lot has changed in their style of play, and I think that really works in the favour of these guys and their ability to make decisions and score.
A new innovation among many here at Cowles NBL season 2024. You can get involved at home with our NBL poll. Thanks to our friends at Mix and Pick. Who will win? Pretty easy. 61% so far thinking the Rams, 39% the Nelson Giants, both waiting on imports to arrive, so will always be interesting. But scan that QR code, we'll keep it up there for a short while and get involved, and we'll check in to see if that poll changes throughout the course of the pre-game. Let's touch on this Giants side. No Sam Dempster for a few weeks at least, we understand, with a foot injury, not here tonight. But Dan Fortu in 4-2. Down from the Franklin Bulls. First of all, what a coup for the Nelson Giants.
I don't know who shipped up that magic, but what a job they did. Dan Fotu, one of the nation's best players at the moment. Wow, what a pickup for them.
Absolutely. Imports in the space of Dan Greeder as well out of the Illawarra Hawks. Still hoping, I understand, the Giants to get their hands on an import guard and a centre. This is a little bit undermanned this evening, but if Sky Broadband Rapid League's anything to show Maya, there's no such thing as the form sheet this early in the season. The Nelson Giants getting the job done, 34 points to 21 in the Sky Broadband Rapid League opener. Plenty to come after tonight's game. Thursday night, we send it up for a bit of history making in Tauranga for the first time. The Phi in the Cowles NBL were now expanded to an 11-team competition hosting the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Bit of mail coming through. You might be to fill us in social media in the last sort of hour or two on the Hawks side.
Hold on to your horses, because Jared Kenny is an emergency player for the Hawks tomorrow night. Just when you thought he was hanging his boots up, the 38-year-old, we could see him one last time.
Would love to see it. Otago Nuggets down there at the Edgar Centre. The old Battle of the South against the Sharks. Manawatu Jets at Fly Palmy Arena in Manawatu. It's a Taranaki Airs side. I tell you what, they have put some serious moves together on the recruitment front. They're a bit of a smoky for mine. If not, I see on the TAB, they're already listed second or third favourites. So they're going to be something to look at as to the course of the season. Some big name players coming from across the ditch for the Airs.
Yeah, they're actually beside the Rams, of course. My pick for this season's win. Justin Nelson put out a tweet today, and I said, yeah, I think Taranaki, they have that depth. Obviously, Sam Froling had a amazing final series against Melbourne United, averaging about 25 points. Coming to join us here in New Zealand, which is really exciting, alongside some really good local talent and some other strong imports. So super, super exciting for the Ears to kind of revitalise their program a little bit.
Yeah, really looking forward to getting a look at the Ears later this weekend, but our focus is on the Rams and the Giants. There are the Nelson Giants just going through their warm-ups in their white strip, and there is their starting five, the NBS Nelson Giants. Alex McNaught with the responsibilities at point guard this evening. Thomas Ingham, a fan favourite. Daniel Greta returning to the Nelson Giants, has had a season with the Giants, I believe that 2021. Hayden Jones, fair amount of excitement around Hayden Jones, and Dan Fortu in the customary 42 singlet. They are coached, of course, by Mike Fitchett. Unfortunately, we can't go to an interview that we did have lined up with Mike, but Mike, you caught up with him a bit earlier on. What were the key focuses for the Giants at this point of the season?
Obviously, he acknowledged they are a little bit underhanded, still missing 2 imports for them, and obviously no Sam Dempster, who typically leads the charge. But in saying that, Mike said it's very much a team effort tonight. They've got to go all in. Everybody's got hands on deck, and the battle of the bigs is going to be their big thing. They've got to make sure they win the rebounding battle. We saw that in the Rapid League. A lot of offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities for the Rams. So for them to control the pace that way, get out in trans after they get some rebounds and put points on the board that way.
Is, of course, our first Wednesday night game, and for the course of the season, every Wednesday night, and thanks for joining us already if you have, on TikTok. We are on TikTok every Wednesday night. Great to reach a new audience that way, courtesy of TikTok. There is the Wheeler Motor Company Rams starting five, though. Taylor Britt will be the starting point guard. Kaya Isaac, Tucky Farrington. We haven't even touched on Tucky Farrington. There's a nice little piece of recruitment there by the Rams. Max Darling and Lockie Olbrich, their one import who is here on hand, starting at the 5 tonight. They are coached, of course, by Judd Flavel. You caught up with Judd too. Again, what's been the focus for him? They've obviously come off the West Side Blitz, waiting on a couple of bodies, as you mentioned, guys like Walter Brown, MJ Walker, KJ Buffin are their imports from the States. So what is the key for the Canterbury Rams tonight?
Like we spoke about before, right, that continuity and that cohesion. They've got a great crop of young guys they had training with them or rostered last year. So they know their style of play, and they've been working on it for a few weeks now. And they've had a lot of practice through preseason in the West Side Blitz to really play their style of basketball and execute and make decisions and run their offensive style no matter who's there. So I think they're just looking to, like you said, play that style of basketball, go to their main guys and see how things go.
Be very interesting indeed. As I caught up with Judd Flavel on the radio on Monday, and he said to me, championships are not won in March, but you certainly don't want to go a long way to losing them. You've got to be in that mix and get points on the board early doors. We are not far away from opening tip-off, but we will go to our head-to-head, courtesy of our official stats partner throughout the course of the 2024 season, the Chemist Warehouse. And the head-to-head there, the clash of the coaches. They're pretty familiar with each other. Spent some time in the Tall Blacks, of course. Flavel v. Fitchett. Interesting styles. You'd agree? Max, go, Maya. There you go.
Yeah, 2 really experienced coaches. They've come through the system, and they've both had ANBL experience as well as Tallback experience. So, yeah, a lot of knowledge in this building.
Let's get on to these rising stars. It's sort of glossed over the name Hayden Jones there, but what a talent on the way up. Obviously a very storied basketball family. Phil Jones, Cat Jones, 3 siblings all playing basketball, but how about this guy's debuted in the NBL last year. Some outstanding stats for New Zealand age group teams, and at the age of just 17, born in 2007 for goodness sake.
Wow.
He's starting in the Cowles NBL tonight.
And not to mention his Tall Blacks debut earlier this year, the 4th youngest Tall Black to ever put on the jersey. Got to do it at home in front of his family as well, which is an awesome moment for him, and put up some really good numbers and some great efficiency. So I'm excited to see the step up he's taking this year in the Cowles NBL.
Our referee crew this evening, led by Marty Davidson, accompanied by Regan Ashley, Harry Apes as well. The defending champion Canterbury Rams in their customary red strip with new import Lockie Olbrich out of Australia to contest the tip and get us underway for season 2024. And he gets first touch on it too. The Rams, they'll start with possession. Can they get off to a quick start here at their home crowd, the home stadium? Britt wide open up top, doesn't need a second invitation. Taylor Britt.
Quite literally nothing else you could wish for your first possession, Nick.
An early 3-0 lead for the home team. McNaught and Tom Ingham. The Giants running with McNaught, Ingham, Greeder, Jones and Fortu. Here is McNaught now. Young Hayden Jones in the corner. And just pulls up there. Can't get that one to go. Tied it up by Olbrich.
Really great first defensive possession for the Rams. They missed the mismatch. Dan Fortu had Taylor Britt sealed. And we forced Hayden Jones to a contested mid-range pull-up. It's exactly what you want if you're the Rams tonight.
There's the first touch for Taki Farrington. Back out to Britt. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Looks to get to the left as he's done so many times in his career. But can't get it to go. Darling tidies up and finishes. But we've got a problem here. A Giants player. It's Alex McNaught down. Might have taken one to the area that every male doesn't want to have that type of contact to. And hopefully he can compose himself and continues to take a look at the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. But good hustle there. Darling and Olbrich going to work down low.
As Mike said before the game, it's going to be the battle of the bigs, and they're going to have to be very much responsible in terms of boxing out and disallowing the second chance opportunities that Rams thrive off.
Whistle and a foul. That was on Britt. As McNaught drove to the cup there. 21, in fact, Olbrich, first foul. No Tom Webley this season for the Rams, so Will Blight likely to get the bulk of the backup centre minutes, at least early on. As Dan Greeder, the Nelson Giants import, gets to work and fashions a shot and gets it up and in. Giants on the board.
That's exactly what we can expect to see from Dan Greeder. He's an athletic wing player, and he just wants to get on the rim, much like the rest of this Nelson Giants offense, and he's going to be a problem if the Rams can't slow that down.
There's Olbrich now down low, likes this matchup on Greeder. Couple of Illawarra Hawks. And Olbrich, too big, too strong, opens his Canterbury Rams account.
Yeah, Lockie just going against his former teammate. We're going to see a lot of that. He showed his athletic prowess in the ANBL, and those are directly transferable skills here in the Sales NBL.
Just evades Tom Ingham that pass there in the corner. So a couple of early Nelson Giants turnovers. As Rams lead 7-2.
Rams can take pride in their defense. They've done a lot of hard show coverage at their practices, obviously paying off.
And a couple of breakers development players getting a tangle there. McNaught and Darling. And on Stuff this morning, an article about Max Darling talking about his time up there in the breakers, first of a 3-year deal on a breakers development contract. Feeling plenty of confidence coming into what promises to be a big 2024 Sales NBL campaign.
Absolutely, we didn't see a lot of him actually on the floor for the Breakers, but obviously the training and the experience, being coached by Modi Muir, not for the weak, learned a lot from that, and the physicality and the training that comes with being in an ANBL squad. It's taken his game to a whole nother level despite only getting a few minutes on the court.
So 15 seconds on the shot clock here. Again, Britt finding a bit of space. And then fires up from 3. Jones looked to have hauled in the rebound. They're going to call a foul on Darling. This is a couple of early fouls on the Wheeler Motor Company Canterbury Rams.
Rams are a really great defensive team, but it's that discipline, right? You got to be careful, got to be smart and disciplined, especially with an underhanded roster. These guys can't really afford to get themselves in trouble, especially early on.
Jones bring the ball up the floor for the Giants. McNaught with it now. Back to young Hayden Jones. McNaught slings it to Ingham. Front iron. Olbrich just eats that up. And here come the Canterbury Rams downhill. Kaya Isaac. And that pass just evades Max Darling, and it'll be Nelson Giants possession. Another talent on the rise, Kaya Isaac, big 3x3 Cup campaign last year. MVP, helped Canterbury Rams to a win. Shooting at 46% from 3 in Cowles NBL in 2023. He can get cooking from deep.
Yeah, and just spent his off-season training with the Breakers as well. So a lot of development for him, and he's really taken an elevated step up in his game.
There's Dan Greeter, sporting, I'm going to say early doors, one of the top 5 mullets in Cowles NBL. There's plenty going, as we'll see over the course of the weekend and the season. It's Olbrich now. Farrington, can he fire from 3? Just a little heavy, and Greeter tidies up.
Great to see Rams involving all 5 of their players offensively, though. I think we've seen a shot attempt from almost every Ram already, which is great testament to their versatility. As Dan Greeter, the hoop and the harm.
Yeah, great work there to get something up and in. So that's 2 early fouls now on Max Darling inside 3.5 minutes. And that'll bring Aidan Tonge into the contest.
The great thing about this underhanded roster is it gives the other guys a chance to step up. And for Aidan Tonge, he would never be the 6th man last year, but now he's been given this opportunity, and he's really grown in his game, and Judd's loving what he's seeing from him. So really cool of him to get this opportunity, and I'm sure he'll take it by its neck.
Greeter can't complete the 3-point play, but cuts the Rams lead to 3, 7-4, coming up 4 minutes gone, first quarter. Cowles NBL season opener. Between the defending champion Rams and their new recruit is taking very little time to settle in. Lockie Olbrich with 4 quick points.
There's a pickup and a half from the Rams. Again, he's shown prowess in the ANBL, and he's been such an integral part of this Rams offense. Really fits their style of play, and as you can see, it's paying off.
Greeter can't make that one, but slap back by Fortu, does well, ends up back with Greeter, just hangs on the rim but doesn't drop. Yeah, Lockie Olbrich, still a chance, potentially, of even declaring for the 2025 NBA draft, which would be something on its own. There's 4-2 now. Cannons into Britt and Olbrich. The foul's going to go on Britt. And a side bounds for the visiting Giants.
That's that discipline we speak about, right? With an underhanded roster, you just can't afford to be ill-disciplined and reach in. We are not favourable. We've seen Max Darling go out early with 2 fouls. Don't want the same thing to happen to your point guard.
Yeah, 4-1 early foul count. The Rams with the 4 fouls. And Quinn Clinton not in the roster mix, I should say, for season 2024 for the Canterbury Rams. Would usually see him spell Taylor Britt at point guard in 2023. But joining the coaching staff now, Quinn Clinton is another late whistle. And Judd Flavel right in front of us here in the commentary position, fuming early doors.
I'm kind of scared, Nick. Quite an unusual trait from Judd. Typically a calm guy, so you know he's unhappy when that happens, but you got to keep moving forward, right?
So the 5th foul on the Rams, and I just pick up an earshot. Judd speaking to Marty Davidson, you got to call it down here now. Just wants consistency as the first timeout of the evening's called.
An interesting approach now for Judd. He's got 2 guys in foul trouble and a short-handed roster. It's going to be interesting to see his direction now. A spanner in the works, you could say, for him. Interesting to see how he's going to adjust to this one.
It is the Rams, though, who lead 9-4 early doors. Sky Broadband Rapid League introduced to the men's competition this season. That was the Nelson Giants getting up 34 points to 21. As we take a look at some highlights from that Rapid League clash. No, excuse me, I thought just because I saw Nick Davidson on the court, we were taking highlights from the Rapid League. He was on fire, wasn't he, Mike? 13 points.
He was absolutely electric. Just come back a whole nother level from his past season. Absolutely electric, getting on the rim on his right hand. Yeah, the Rams just could not stop him.
Cheer squad entertaining the Cowles Stadium faithful. Let's have a look at there, Dan Greeter. Just having a deep conversation there with Nelson Giants head coach Mike Fitchett. No Sam Dempster, of course, tonight, out with a foot injury. Played the most of any active player, although that news early doors in our broadcast around Jared Kenny might be bumped perhaps back down to number 2, but over 200 games, Sam Dempster. I look forward to seeing him in the Nelson Giants strip at some stage in season 2024 as their new recruit, Dan Fortu, opens his account in a Nelson Giants uniform.
Such an exciting moment to have him now here in the South Island. Obviously, these last few years have been electric for him. Coming off a 2-year deal with the Breakers. Wouldn't be surprised if he signed on for more. He's going to be dominant in this year's Cowles NBL. Definitely a contender for that MVP title.
9-6 ball game here as Isaac tries to tippy-toe down the baseline, but again, a turnover on the Rams. Starting to creep up ever so slightly. The turnovers on top of the fouls. 5-1 foul count. It's the 3rd turnover on the Rams. As Davidson almost threads the needle. It was last touched by a Nelson Giant, Hayden Jones, and that allows for subs in. You can tell us a bit about this man here, Maya Williamson, and 8 for the Canterbury Rams, Tama Isaac.
Younger brother of Kaya, gotta be the first thing you say, right? He's moved here from Australia and just taken New Zealand by the reins. An absolutely electric point guard, super strong for his size, really high decision-making guard. Going to be really exciting to see kind of how he competes at the Cowles NBL level, but been really exciting this past year.
Again, no whistle. That, leaving Judd Flavel, the Canterbury Rams coach, a little frustrated here early doors. They do lead 9-6 despite a little bit of adversity on the foul side. But yeah, both Isaac brothers into the game, Kaya and Tama. The Rams also with Britt, Tonge and Albrecht as Tama gets it back after that miss and has his first points.
As you can see, he's just so unfazed by the pressure. Really mature decision-making skills for him, and he's used to absorbing a high level of physicality. He's played at an international level for New Zealand as well. No doubt he's going to slot into this game with no hesitation.
And another foul. This time it's on Tonge. Smart play there by Fortu. And that's the 6th foul on the Rams. So shooting from here with 4 minutes and 11 to go. We have a long first quarter.
We have a long first quarter ahead of us too, and I think that's what the Rams are feeling like a little bit at the moment. Judd obviously expressing some frustration.
Fortu misses the first. Makes the second. So here comes Tama Isaac bringing it downhill. Interesting to see. Yeah, Taylor Britt in the corner. And finally a whistle going the way of the visitors. A foul called on the new man in, Aston Inwood. So Rams going relatively small here, Maya.
Yeah, and I think it's not too much of a concern. Taki is very much a stretch guy. He can play, honestly, 2 through to 5. And Tonge, although not super huge, can play above his size as we see him get to his favoured left hand and finish.
The 2 lefties going to work. In fact, there's 3 lefties on the floor at the moment for the Rams, and Kaya Isaac, Taylor Britt and Aiden Tonge. 4-2 there. Oh, that's all class.
And you're going to see a lot of that. Dan Fortu is primarily a downhill guy, and he's very strong, a hard guy to stop.
It's Kaya Isaac in the corner. Don't want to give him too many opportunities. Wide open from there, but can't make the Giants pay on that occasion. As Fortu finds Jones wide open out here on this right-hand side. Can't make him pay either, so a couple of opportunities go missing, but good looks.
Yeah, lit on the rim at the moment, just like we saw in that Rapid League. But again, good looks. Taylor Britt, not even concerned about their lack of three-point shooting as he gets an and 1 to go.
Just hung in the air there, T. Britt. Is up to 5 points. Let's take a look at the GJ Gardner home replay. Just caught Nick Davidson in 2 minds. That's a nice finish on the right from the lefty as we have another timeout.
Yeah, not often you can call that Taylor Britt has gone to the rim on his right hand, but you got to appreciate it when you see it.
So cold early doors from a three-point standpoint. 1 from 5 from 3, the Rams. The Giants yet to see a 3 fall. All our stats in season 24, courtesy of our stats partner, the Chemist Warehouse. What do you feel like the messages will be from Giants coach Mike Fitchett in this timeout here, Mike?
You got to protect the rim. As we said, Canterbury Rams, they're struggling to shoot from the three-point line. So if you can pack the paint a little bit and encourage them to keep firing from the three-point line, they will take that invitation to do so as part of their offense. And if they're struggling, you're the Giants, you want to encourage them to take those shots and protect the rim at all costs, because at the moment, Rams are just eating up.
Yeah, just 3 from 9 from the floor as well, the Nelson Giants. As the Rams make their way back out, and Taylor Britt will look to complete the three-point play. C2 inching closer to 100 games for the Rams. Taylor Britt in his 8th season. A real loyal veteran and servant of this squad. Tall black, of course. Spent some time back in the day at the Perth Wildcats.
Yeah, he has had an awesome trajectory in his Tall Blacks campaigns. Just the absolute heart and soul of the Canterbury Rams. Dare I say it, he could go on to be the head coach someday. I can see it happen.
Wouldn't rule it out. 16-9, the Rams lead. 3 to go in the first quarter. Season opener. Sal's NBL season 2024 as Ingham weighs up Farrington. Good D there, good footwork, but again, a foul late in the count with just 3 on the shot clock.
And you can understand the frustration from a coaching standpoint, but you've got to learn to adjust to the referees. We've seen 5 early foul calls that the Rams weren't so happy with, but it's that point you've got to be smart and you've got to have some discipline, keeping your hands up even when it feels inviting.
That's the first on Farrington. Of course, the Rams in the bonus. So Tom Ingham shooting 2.
And not a guy you want to send to the free throw line, high caliber shooter.
Yeah, well, speaking of Centurions, over 100 games as well in this league, Tom Ingham, and makes them both. The Giants now into double digits and just a 5-point lead for the Rams. We have Darling off the floor, 2 early fouls. Ulbrich having a spell as well. As Britt again on the right, but Dan Greeder says no.
Just that athleticism from the mullet man himself, and you see him going to work on the offensive end as well. Very physical down there, Nick.
A great contest there by Aiden Tonge, and now releases Taylor Britt on that customary left-hand side. It's been a big first quarter for the Rams captain. He's leading all scorers with 8 points.
Can almost guarantee a bucket when you see TB going downhill on his left hand. Just super strong. Not an overly huge guy in stature, Nick, but super strong and athletic on that left hand.
I'm sure you do the scout all week long. Don't let Taylor Britt go down the left. And it still happens time and time again.
I think the league's been saying that for about 7 years now. Nothing's changed.
And he's going to take his seat after a big first quarter. Taylor Britt, and more exciting young talent into the mix, and the former Mana Martin.
And what an absolute performance he had at the West Side Blitz, averaging about 13 points. I know he had an 18-point game and a 19-point game at just 16 years old, Nick. Super impressive. He's only year 12, still got another year of high school left in him, and just taking an absolute step up in terms of his game. And you can see him early minutes for the youngster.
Well, that's the brilliant thing, not only about the introduction of Sky Broadband Rapid League in season 2024, but while we wait for some of our imports to arrive, the Rams waiting on 2, the Giants still hoping to land 2. We can even see younger talent in the mix and the Sal's NBL. It's fantastic. Mana Martin at his age is 4-2, just drains that 3 and lets the crowd know he's up to 8 points.
Scout on him is that he's a downhill player, but that doesn't mean you can't contest his 3-point shots. And you got to contest that man's too.
Did everything but go in, but how about that by the young fella, Mana Martin? creates the second chance opportunity, but then Tonge swatted. Fotu and McNaught there. 6 seconds remain on the shot clock. A couple of nice defensive plays at both ends. In fact, there will be 16 on the shot clock.
Changes things a little bit in terms of this Ram offense. They've got a lot of time to work with here. Interesting to see now who they get the ball into without TB on the court.
They get it to young Mana Martin, and just a loose pass there, well read by Fotu. Might have been backcourt violation there, very close. Goes unnoticed as McNaught in the corner. Inwood was all alone under the hoop and just puts it up and in, adds 2. And all of a sudden, my 2-point ball game.
It's the little things, right? Got to box out. Aston Inwood is one of those guys that'll always be in there hunting offensive rebounds. Can't allow second chance opportunities, especially when you're underhanded thanks to foul trouble early for the Rams. Aiden Tonge.
Lovely finish by Aiden Tonge. Back out to a 4-point lead, getting through plenty of work on both ends. Tonge with Darling and Albrook, both with 2 fouls apiece early. Oh, circus shot, stop it, count it, and 1. Dan Fotu up to 10 points on his Nelson Giants debut.
He knew he had to show up and show out. In what world does that go in?
The old circus trick there by Fotu. He's had a huge imprint already on this contest, as advertised. Nelson Giants getting what they were after here. Big time scorer is now Greeter. Contests the rebound off the missed free throw, and it's last touch off a Rams hand.
You can trust that from Greeter. He's just that hustle guy, a go-getter and super athletic. And now he gives the Giants a chance to tie or even take the lead.
Here is Greeter with it. Isaac in front. And another whistle and a foul called. Clear strategy here now. Maya just putting the head down, going to the cup and seeing what happens. And they're getting the reward courtesy of the referee. And Dan Greeter will head to the foul stripe, shooting 2.
Spoke earlier about this. They've really shifted the dynamic from last year being a perimeter-focused team, now very much focused on being an interior team. They have a lot of guys who are happy to go downhill and dominate in that way, and it's really working in their favour.
One thing I would say, though, they've left some points out there. 5 from 8 from the free throw stripe. 8 free throw attempts to 1 in favour of the Giants. Now make that 5 from 9. Deary me. Here comes Tucky Farrington. A 13-second differential between game and shot clock to close out the first quarter. Rams up by 2. Farrington. Inwood in front. 21-footer gets the whistle. And he'll head to the stripe to shoot 2.
It's not pretty, but you'll take it. You take anything you can get. If you're Taki, a high-quality shot, he's made those all preseason long, has really great length and obviously baited into getting a foul call. See what he can come up with here at the stripe.
Yeah, just free throw attempts 2 and 3 for the Wheeler Motor Company Canterbury Rams. Tucky makes the first, opens his account as a Ram. Missed season 2023 in the NBL, previously at the Auckland Tuatara. Can't make the second, but good contest again by Tonge. And a change in ruling by Regan Ashley. Last touched by a Giant. The Rams possession. There's Rambo taking it all in. Oh, and Tama Isaac, that pass read like yesterday's paper by Greeter, and oh, Fotu up high, slams it down, puts an exclamation point on a huge first quarter Dan Fotu with 12 points. Kai Isaac now pulls up, can't get it to go. Greta tidies, and that puts a bow on an enthralling first quarter. Rated E, of course, in season 24. We'll go with enthralling early doors, Maya. But it's the Rams who lead 21 points to 20.
Had a comfortable lead earlier. Nelson Giants, though, with all the momentum, and it's thanks to Dan Greta and Dan Fotu. Dan Greta just so athletic, showing his prowess, getting to the rim and creating second chance opportunities. And Dan Fotu, just an absolute force to be reckoned with. His strength cannot be matched.
Time for a quick break here on Sky Sport. Plenty more to come. Look forward to bringing you in the second quarter very soon. Marty, sorry, can we just hold, can we hold an extra 20 seconds? So, yep. Welcome back to Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Season opener, Sal's NBL 2024. And what a contest we've had. The Canterbury Rams leading the Nelson Giants 21 points to 20. But Dan Fotu, as advertised, Maya Williamson, 12 points in that first quarter.
It certainly has been rated E for electric, exciting, exhilarating, all of the above. And how about that circus shot? He's just been dominating. Rams currently no answer with Max Darling and Lockie Ulbrich. 2 fouls apiece on the bench.
Hasn't missed. 4-2 from the floor. Perfect. 4 from 4, including a 3. Just a couple of misses at the stripe as the no-look pass now. Audacious by Fotu. Greta can't finish from the corner.
Rams looking to really put a stamp on this momentum now. And just struggling from beyond the arc is Kaya Isaac.
They tidy up though, get it back, and Isaac adds the easy 2. Get the scoring underway in the second quarter. Again, Giants playing with pace. Here's Fotu now, and his first miss from the floor.
Uncharacteristic from Dan Fotu to miss when he has a back to basket like that, especially with that mismatch there. Rams now really need to put a mark on it.
Max Darling back into the game. A little bit of how you going under the hoop between Darling and Ingham.
Not sure how you're going was quite the words used there, Nick.
Just reacquainting. Darling, of course, spent a fair bit of time in Nelson.
He did. Grew up there, I believe, before coming to the dark side. That was Christ College and the Canterbury Rams for his last year at high school.
Here is Darling now in the corner. Can't get it to go. Contest there by Greta. That three-point shooting, Maya, on both sides as McNaught just leaves that a little short with the floater. The Rams 1 from 9. The Giants 1 from 6, but we'll hold that thought. How about that?
Who needs three-point shooting when you have Max Darling that can do that? Obviously, Rams having to adjust and problem solve. A lot of their game is from beyond the arc. Like you said, 9 attempts and a quarter and some change. They've had to adjust a little bit, And Max Darling's the man to do that.
First foul on Fortu as Darling looks to complete the three-point play. A couple of early fouls on him has limited his court time so far. Darling does add the three. And the Rams out to a 6-point lead.
Good start to the quarter for them. Obviously, Giants entered that quarter with a lot of momentum, but now Rams controlling things a little bit and slowing down the Double Dans.
Here's McNaught now, trying to get going from deep. Just isn't happening for either side. From beyond the arc, there's Britt now. Oh, good work there by Jones. Oh, Tonge did everything but finish. Just finds himself so often right place, right time.
Looking to be a lot more comfortable than his 2023 season as well. Less hesitancy, a lot more strength and a nicer touch around the rim. Finding him some quality minutes today.
Here's Ingham now, pull up mid-range. Leaves a little long. Jones hustle, then flings it behind the back. Oh, Greeter and McNaught get in each other's road. It ends up with Farrington. Oh, pinball stuff here all of a sudden at Cowles. And now Ingham with the no look finds the running McNaught. Nice finish to a messy exchange.
So much physicality here on early. Especially these two teams, a little bit of history. Obviously the South Island chip on the shoulder.
Isaac now to Britt at a big first quarter. Leads Rams scorers with 8. And gets to that left, as he so often does. Up to double digits, T. Britt.
And we just saw him size up Hayden Jones there. Obviously he knows his inexperience there and a lack of physicality that Hayden Jones is not used to.
Speaking of physicality, Greeter just sends one of the Rams players. Was it Britt or Isaac flying, but gets called for the charge?
Floor wipers have a lot job to do tonight, putting in extra work.
And Tama Isaac and Ulbrich back into the contest. Kai Isaac takes a seat. And Aiden Tonge. Here is Britt again. Oh, nice action here to get Britt. Oh, you don't see that all too often as Ulbrich tried to tidy up. That was really nice execution there, everything but the bucket.
Absolutely, and if you're the Nelson Giants, you want to avoid Taylor Britt getting downhill on his left hand multiple possessions in a row. It's no secret that's what he likes to do, Nick.
McNaught and Jones with plenty of touches did here on the new Nelson Giants podcast, GI Antics. A fair bit of chat from Mike Fitchett to host Hugh Bain and Phil Jones about. Jones seeing some touches at that point guard, mixing it up with McNaught. So good to see plenty of confidence in the young man. Speaking of young men, Ulbrich going to work down low, just everything but the bucket there again.
And just touching on podcast, don't forget to listen to the Ramble episode 1 up on Spotify. No copyright. That was in production very early on in the year. There was no copying going on there whatsoever.
Oh, Darling, nifty from the big fella. And they call a timeout. Big run here by the Rams. 30-22 now. After that tight first quarter. 7-2 run here in the second.
Interesting to see now also the way of the fouls. So we had a lot of foul trouble with the Rams early on. They've adjusted and learned their discipline. Now it's the Giants. 3 early fouls here in just 4 minutes. Tide's really changing here at Cowles Stadium.
And the crowd getting in behind their team, as we see on so many occasions over the years. Cowles Stadium, your favourite gym in the country, hands down.
Without a doubt, mate. Look at this atmosphere. Nothing can beat that.
Rambo entertaining in between the on-court action here as we take a look at the Rams. Taylor Britt leading that conversation as to be expected. That's the great thing about Judd Flavel as the coach, and a lot of coaches do this, of course, but can be very player-led in that setup there, ultimately on there, looking for the answers to the problems, to the questions, and lets the leaders lead.
Absolutely, that's a huge part of the modern basketball, especially with the high caliber experience he has in Taylor Britt. Max Darling, Taki Farrington even, a lot of experience there. So an ability for them to play a lead. I know he very much trusts him. Taylor Britt can say anything he likes at training. He pipes up a lot of the time, and it's rightfully so. You know, maybe, like we said, paving his future career path as head coach. Just potentially.
Nelson with possession. As they hopefully get an immediate answer after that timeout. 9-2 in favour of the Rams in this second quarter. As McNaught gets rid of Britt. Oh, lovely from McNaught.
A perfect answer, right? Come off that on-ball screen. Taylor Britt taking away that baseline, but Alex McNaught, clean open shot. That's a great answer coming out of a timeout.
And now the tip from Fortu on the Isaac pass. And here comes McNaught again. And the hook layup. 5 quick points for Alex McNaught. And there you go. That 9-point lead is gone. Cut to 3.
Need a big answer here now for the Rams. And looking like the Giants are in a 2-3 zone now. Not a bad move considering a cold start for the Rams with a 3-point land.
And Fortu with impact at both ends there. Came over with the help D on Britt. And this has been brilliant execution out of the timeout by the visitors. Fortu with Darling in front. It's the shoulder end and gets the finish. Dan Fortu up to 14.
Dan Fortu just doing what he does best. Back to the rim and dominating. Obviously, Max Darling in a vulnerable spot too. Can't afford to foul. Dan Fortu taking advantage of that.
Taylor Britt calling on a screen. Goes to Isaac. Tries to get around Darling now. His 3-point shot has improved. Can't get that one to go. Somehow ends up in the lap of Lockie Ulbrich, who just puts it up and in.
Don't think he was quite expecting that one, but again, take the 2 points. Giants, really smart move to go into that 2-3 zone, slow down the Rams scoring a lot, so Rams will be happy to get one on the board.
6 points and 5 rebounds so far on debut from Ulbrich. That 3 doesn't fall there for the Giants. Here come the Rams, Darling. And they go to Ulbrich. He likes that matchup with Inwood. And Inwood, though, great read. Here come the Giants. On both ends, Aston Inwood. Timeout called. What a play there, though.
Up to 6 fast break points now for the Giants. That was something that Mike Fitchett alluded to. And the pre-game interviews were that they really want to get out and trans, and that's where a huge part of the offense comes from. There are a lot of downhill fast guys. And capitalizing off those turnovers at the moment, working well in their favor.
And a timeout now called by the Rams. It's just back and forth contest as you'd expect, right, Maya, in the Sal's NBL, the salary cap, and just one import each. Yeah, tonight it's always going to be an even contest, and we're seeing it so far, just 1 point in it.
Happy birthday, I guess.
Happy birthday to someone here at Cowles. But what do you feel like the key talking points will be inside that Rams huddle at the minute after that, what, 2-3 minutes of court time we saw after the Giants timeout?
Well, obviously there was the adjustment of the 2-3 zone, so it's just running through their zones offense. You know, they got to it, but not necessarily the best looks. They had a couple of unforced errors and slow timing with their passing. I'd say looking to Lockie Ulbrich when he has a mismatch. I don't think he's utilised a lot of his touches yet. And when he's sealing down low, he's a very good finisher. So if you can look to get the ball inside to him, I think he'll have a lot of success.
Ulbrich on the floor for the Rams, going with their starting unit minus Farrington, with Tama Isaac in and with possession. 32-31. Punch and counter punch. The season opener Cowles NBL 2024 is Alex McNaught. Cannot believe the call. And a whistle goes the way of the Rams.
And you can see Alex McNaught, high IQ level there, just trying to pressure Tama, who's an inexperienced point guard in this league, trying to force him to turn the ball over. But 14 new seconds for the Rams here to get something to work.
Here's Britt. It's the screen from Albrook. Isaac up top. Eventually these are going to fall. Oh, but Tama Isaac now. Lovely rebound dish to Albrook. And that's where he is right at home, the Aussie. Up to 8 points.
Like we said, he's 6'10". There's nobody really in that Giants roster on at the moment that can match that length.
Taylor Britt now with the turnover. And the steal, causing the turnover. Just leaves that hanging on the rim. And last touch is off a Giant's foot. So the Rams will get another go as Darling takes a seat. Ton Jin.
Couple of uncharacteristic missed bunnies there for TB on his left hand.
Oh! How about that? Off the inbound, Lockie Albrook announces himself to New Zealand.
Raise the roof.
What a play. On the baseline. And what a way to bring up double digits for the Aussie import. I think catch another look at that soon on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. And then a shot clock violation out of nowhere from McNaught, who lost the handle. I think we're still all recovering, including Alex McNaught after that monster jam.
Taking the words right out of my mouth. Here it is again. 6'10". NBA prospect, sorry. Could see him, like you said, alluded to earlier, the 2025 draft. If he's pulling out those kind of stunts in his first debut game, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, we'll clip that one up for the highlight reel, Lockie.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about that.
We got you, Lockie.
5-point game. Rams again, as we saw after the Giants timeout, have come up, tidied things up out of their timeout as Fortu puts the clamps there on Albrook on that occasion. Feel like he'll relish this personal challenge. He's right in the face, Dan Fortu, of Lockie Albrook.
Really no other way you can guard that man. You've got to be up close and physical, pushing him as far out of that low block as you possibly can.
Albrook eventually gets it to Farrington. Not much timing on the shot clock. Needs to be aware, Tucky. And he's not. In fact, I think there might have been a foul late prior to the shot clock expiring. And frustration on Dan Fortu's face is it all there.
No contest, however, from Dan Greeder or Mike Fitchett. So probably a fair call. Taki did a good job to break down, and you just see that slap on the arm from Dan Greeder there. Ill-disciplined at the end of the shot clock.
That's the second on Greeder as Farrington makes the free throw to land a field goal, but making inroads from the free throw strike. It'll be interesting, won't it, Maya, eventually with the likes of Walter Brown still to come, KJ Buffin as well, MJ Walker, the two imports, as to the roles and minutes of this Rams team. It looks like a very handy roster they've assembled as Dan Greeder just buries the three from the corner.
Yeah, they put together a formidable roster. I don't think their style of play will necessarily change too much, but you add some prolific scoring threats and you can extend the court a lot more and give your scorers a lot more space to work with, which becomes harder to guard for opposing teams.
Turnover there on Kaya Isaac, but a confusion too. You're out of timeouts, says Marty Davidson to Rams coach Judd Flavel with 1:42 to play in the half. And Dan Greeder right in front of us here in the commentary position as we take a look at that three from the corner on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, and just an all-effort play at both ends, diving around, mullet flying everywhere. It's great to see.
100%. He had a string of injuries. I'm interrupted by a huge foul call there. I think that's his third.
Yeah, charge call on Greta. Olbrich hit the deck. Yeah, 2 ACLs.
Yeah,
That's,
back-to-back.
Yeah, back-to-back. That's brutal. And someone who still pretty early in their career. Dan Greta, but those opportunities limited or taken away due to those long spells on the sideline. Let's hope, for his sake, a full bill of health in season 2024 as he takes the seat with those 3 fouls. Is Tama Isaac now. Jones may have got a piece of that. And here come the Giants.
Better the young guns there. Hayden Jones does a really good job to contest that. Nice little dump-off pass to Aston Inwood.
4-2. Showing his full array of skills there. And again, we're back to a 2-point ball game. Real seesaw contest, this one in the 0-3.
Just what you want, though, right? Entertainment for everybody here tonight, including us.
Late whistle from Marty Davidson on Tom Ingham. And Taylor Britt will head to the line, shooting 2. And the opportunities at the free throw stripe have started to become more and more for in the second quarter for the Rams. Clearly part of a change in strategy, putting that 3 ball away just a touch.
Yeah, absolutely. And also just attacking the vulnerability of a short Giants roster. I think they came out firing, but you can't really maintain that same effort all the way through. They're getting a little bit fatigued now and making ill-disciplined decisions.
Winning the battle of the rebounds too, with Greta taking a seat here. A lovely dish. Britt to Kai Isaac. An easy finish. And our first player timeout called season 2024 in the NZNBL. Can't return to the benches. The respective units out there on the floor can't get any pearls of wisdom from their respective coaches. It's all brought about by whatever they're saying between themselves there as the Giants see what comes from it.
Yet another great initiative by the league, enforcing player-led basketball, which is what we love to see. Both teams equipped with leaders to do that.
4-2, quick bucket. Perhaps trying for that 2-for-1 opportunity. And a little bit of confusion here on the call. Might have touched the back of the backboard on the way up, but I'm going to say it was last touched, irrespective of that, by a Canterbury Ram. So 9 seconds on the shot clock here for the Giants. 32 seconds on the game clock remain in the first half. Jones calls for a screen, gets it from Inwood. 4-2. Do you like this dance? Aiden Tonge can't get the 3 to go. They play on. Don't worry about that shot clock. Here come the Canterbury Rams, and now there is a shot clock issue, which just stunts proceedings.
And another chance for kind of another player timeout.
A pseudo player timeout, yeah.
Unofficial player timeout. Led again by Taylor Britt. Wouldn't be surprised if ball goes in his hands. An excellent creator out of on-ball screens.
He's put up 12 shots now, Taylor Britt, really taking that offensive load. In season 2023, when they were at full strength, he was more distributive, facilitator, taking those opportunities where need be, but particularly late in the season with Corey Webster, Tevin Brown, who had a brilliant finals campaign, the American import.
Yeah,
played his role, but now, at the moment anyway, you're certainly carrying the offensive load.
Absolutely, and that's the great thing about him, really much an adaptable player.
Using every last bit of this clock here, Taylor Britt, as the shot clock is off. 6 seconds on the game clock. Britt with Davidson in front, goes to his right and gets it up. Taylor Britt up to 12 points. A great way to finish the half for the Rams, who lead the Nelson Giants 42 points to 36. A couple of players in double digits for the home team, the Canterbury Rams. Taylor Britt with 12. Their new import, Lockie Olbrich, with 10. For the MBS, Nelson Giants, its new recruit, Dan Fortu, leading the way with 14 points. All our stats, courtesy of our official stats partner of the Cowles NBL, the Chemist Warehouse. As we send it down sideline, Myers got Dan Fortu.
By 6 at half-time, what went well for you in the first half?
Mike really emphasized using force, so we were just aggressive with it, driving to the basket, getting to the rim, getting fouls in the first quarter. But yeah, we'll continue to do that.
Awesome. So a few things to clean up. What's focusing on for you guys to catch up now and get a dub going into the second half?
Rebounds, just rebounds. They're getting too many second chances, so yeah, we got to grab the boards.
Awesome. Good luck for the second half. Up by 6 at half-time. What worked well for you guys?
We just had an emphasis on getting into the paint, 2 feet in the paint and playing.
And what are you working on now to extend the lead going to the second half?
I think not fouling probably helps a lot. Dan's putting a lot of pressure on us, so we just got to play with our hands out.
Awesome. Good luck for the second half.
Cheers, Maya. The thoughts there of Dan Fortu of the Nelson Giants and Taylor Britt of the Canterbury Rams. Here, just looking at that rebound count, 30 rebounds for the Canterbury Rams, 17 for the Giants, who have work to do. We'll take a short break here on Sky Sport. Plenty more to come, though, from Cowles Stadium, with the defending Cowles NBL champions, the Canterbury Rams, lead by 6.
Most people recognise the players, but just feel free to say their name because it's not me, it's so quick. I did say, I said you had Dan Fortu there, yeah, but like when you, and now we'll bring in Taylor Britt for the Rams. Not a major, most people know about that. Good work. I desperately need to get some water. So.
Opener, the Canterbury Rams lead the Nelson Giants 42 points to 36. Nick Bewley here alongside Maya Williamson. Maya, you've been deep in the box score during the ad break. What's standing out to you? I touched on it just as you were coming back from those interviews, but the rebounds, 30-17, the Rams just dominating the glass.
And I think that's to be as expected. Obviously, Dan Fotu and Dan Greta, the bigger guys for the Giants, although just don't match the size of what the Rams have. And they're taking advantage of that, and they're creating themselves second chance opportunities. 14 second chance points for the Rams of 42. That's deadly for the Giants. And if you don't stop that, they're just going to absolutely dominate.
Certainly is a concern for the Giants. It's one thing identifying it, though, but how do you stop it? Or how do you limit the damage?
Grow taller. That's number one. If you can't achieve that, you've got to be a lot more physical, and you've got to do that early. You just can't be reactive. You've got to be proactive in your physicality. Get a hand on them, push them out early, and hunt for that. But having Lockie Albrecht, who's 6'10", it does help you a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about the two bigs. Lockie Albrecht on the Rams side. Dan Fotu playing largely at the 5 here tonight for the Nelson Giants. Let's start with Dan Fotu. What a debut. 14 points and getting it done on both ends too. Some really good defensive plays as well.
Absolutely, and that was what we expected to see from him before the game. We spoke about his brilliance and his wonderful off-season he's had, obviously being with the Breakers, and just that physicality that he brings. He's super strong. His back to the basket, low block game has really proven to be dominant, even against some oversized bigs.
Albrecht on the other side. Feels like some of the opportunities have been a little fortuitous. The ball's just sort of landed where he's standing, and being such a big bloke, he's just put it up and in. But what have you made of his impact on debut?
Yeah, I think he's eased into a game a little bit more. Like we said, he didn't really get a lot of touches early on, but now he's easing into that a little bit more. Ball's getting to his hand, and he's showing his dominance. A really great touch around the rim and an ability to make decisions in that high post area. I wouldn't be surprised if Judd Flavel goes to him a lot more in the second half.
Young crowd loving it here at Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Canterbury Rams leading the Nelson Giants by 6. We'll take another break here on Sky Sport on the other side, the second half. Stadium in Christchurch, second half action moments away. Sal's NBL season 2024 opener. It's the defending champion Canterbury Rams who lead the Nelson Giants 42 points to 36. One thing, we didn't touch on that side of halftime, the three-point shooting on both sides. And these are sides where, yes, they've got some serious talent down low, but from a perimeter standpoint too, they've got some sharp shooters. Kaya Isaac being one of them, shot the three at 46% in season 2023. It's ice cold. You got to feel that the worm's going to turn there eventually.
I'm hoping so, because at the moment, 9% from the three-point line for the Rams is extremely uncharacteristic. And for the Giants, not much better. 3 from 10, not terrible, but again, not great by their standards especially. And seeing as this is such an integral part of Rams' offense, obviously they've already put up 11, so we obviously know they can shoot it. And last year, that was a huge part of their offense and the decision-making process, especially off of screens. Yeah, it's a struggle for them.
See our live poll. Maybe the confidence is altered just a touch on the Rams. I feel like that number was a bit higher in the 60s early doors, but get involved by our friends at Mix and Pick. Scan that QR code. Pretty simple poll tonight. Who's going to win? The Rams or the Giants? People still see it the way of the home team to open up season 2024. Just caught my eye there over to our left. The Rams bench. Max Darling on the bike. Perhaps a slight injury concern, one to watch as we enter the second half, but he is out there on the court to start the third quarter.
My educated guess is that I know he did tweak it a little bit. I think he rolled it near the end of that Breakers season. Played a couple games on it early as he returned to Christchurch, and it was playing up a little bit. So probably just taking some precautionary elements to not tweak that a little bit more and shorthand their roster further than it is at the moment.
And not get cold in the halftime break. Just stay warm is the key as we wait for the second half. In fact, Cowles Stadium is going to have to go under a couple of minor repairs here. Some of the tape markings from another sport, perhaps volleyball or something, I don't know, but they're having to get slightly adjusted. And thumbs up, we're good to go. Rams starting with possession, looking to build on their 6-point lead. Taylor Britt, big part of their first half effort. Oh, nice find, Ulbrich. Farrington around and eventually down.
Lockie Ulbrich is just an excellent decision-making big out of that high post. That's one of the reasons that Judd wanted him as part of their offense, and it works for them to open this quarter.
There's Ingham to greet it. It was very busy in that first half. He gets called for the travel early doors. And frustration there for Dan Greeter. 7 points. Did get into a bit of foul trouble as well on 3 fouls. So something he'll be a little mindful of. But you feel like there's just sort of one pace or one intensity with Dan Greeter, and that's just full noise.
I certainly would not want to be in the way if he was running full straight ahead of me.
Speaking of full steam ahead, Alex McNaught picks the pocket of Ulbrich and then all the way downhill and finishes. And then some bit of words after and in the face of Taylor Britt.
All in the spirit of competitiveness.
Big screen there, Ulbrich on McNaught. To his credit, does get back up and in the face of Farrington. And then there's a whistle and a foul down low. That's going to be on Dan Fortu. That's his second.
Yeah, not too dangerous of a position for Dan Fortu to be in, but obviously he's been tasked with guarding Lockie Ulbrich, which isn't, the easiest thing in the world, and I think fouling as a result of his overexerted physicality.
Dominating the rebounds, it continues. This time Kaya Isaac with the misfire off the Max Darling corner 3. Just puts it up and in.
Slow start for Kaya. We spoke about that at the halftime period, 5 turnovers out of the Rams 8, and just can't get going from beyond the arc. Quite uncharacteristic from the development that we've seen from his standpoint.
Spent a fair time training with the Breakers as well as Taki Farrington gets to work with a couple of quick buckets in this third quarter. The Rams have hit the ground running, back up to a double-digit lead. In fact, their biggest lead of the night, Maya, 10 points.
Yeah, really encouraging position for them to be in now. You can just see them just blowing up anything the Giants have going for them.
Great hustle, Kai Isaac, as both he and Hayden Jones hit the floor. And now back with Max, he gets up, doesn't, just delicately puts it home, and the Rams just keep on keeping on here in this third quarter.
Keep on keeping on. Really great way to describe it. Absolutely blowing up Nelson Giants' offense at the moment, neutralizing any actions they're looking to get to, and executing on the offensive end. That's the biggest part of it all.
Here's Greta, puts it up. Again, the three-point shot remains cold. And a whistle to allow Ulbrich to tie his shoelaces. But yeah, 42-36 at halftime has quickly become 50-38. 8-2 start to the quarter. Just over 2.5 minutes gone.
Fatigue possibly setting in for this Giants team. A short rotation for them tonight.
And the whistle, I believe the foul will be called on the Giants. And Ulbrich couldn't finish at the rim, but he'll get an opportunity. 2 attempts at the foul stripe.
Ulbrich showing his versatility as well. I know when he was at the Hawks, didn't have a lot of chance to attack from the perimeter because they had the likes of Sam Froling, but cool to see now that he's attacking from that three-point line, showing his versatility. He can back down or he can break your ankles.
And part of the Illawarra Hawks set up Lockie Ulbrich and splits the free throws. And there's a slight change in import strategy, you feel, from the Rams, going with a young Aussie. They had the American trio last year, early in their professional careers, but looking at the high ceiling of a player that has played in the Aussie NBL and his game translates to the Sal's NBL.
I think that's a big point that you just hammered down there. Translates. The style of play between the ANBL and the Sal's NBL is not that different, and I think Lockie's really just inserted himself and slotted right into this offense because what he plays, his role at the Hawks, is not much different to what he's playing here for the Rams, and that's an easy pickup point for Judd.
Tom Ingham in 20 feet, can't get it to go, and then a whistle on the Rams, I believe. Fortu wasn't really that happy, he just wanted to go up and try and add a couple more to his tally. Hasn't been able to add yet to his 14 points in the first half. As McNaught now tries to create mismatch here with Ulbrich. And Fortu just leaves that three short. They can't make them pay, Nelson.
An absolute drought for Nelson at the moment, and Rams just capitalizing on that.
And an offensive foul called on Ulbrich. Greta, I want to say he embellished. There was certainly contact, but he made sure referee Regan Ashley was aware and gets the call. That'll be the third on Lockie Ulbrich as we take a look at the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
Kind of have to do those things when you're an undersized forward trying to guard someone like Lockie Ulbrich. Got to sell that a little bit.
There's Fortu up top. Gives it to McNaught, who will fire from three. Just can't get that one to go, and another player hits the floor. This time it's Ingham. And there is a foul on Taki Farrington as he looked to box out there. We hope hopefully he can get a closer look. I actually missed that one as Farrington's apologised, but yeah, a couple of physical bits of play here on both ends from the Rams.
It's really just been the tale to tell of this entire story. We've seen bodies on the ground the whole way through. A super physical battle here tonight.
Jones kicks it back to McNaught. Giants just 2 points to show for their third quarter effort thus far as Ingham can't get it done. Almost evades Ulbrich. Darling almost comes into your living room at home. The cameraman looks to be okay as TB adds another two with the left. And a timeout called by Giants coach Mike Fitchett.
Yeah, they just seem like they're running out of gas. They don't have a lot that they can pull from at the moment, but Rams have it all going. They've really put their foot down coming in to the second half.
There's that replay there of Darling crashing into our camera operators. All okay there, and that started the fast break. 53-38. So what's that now? 11-2 in this third quarter.
At the end of the day, the Rams are just putting the ball in the hoop now, right?
And you just got to wonder on the Giants end, Mike Fitchett leading the conversation, but as you mentioned, just with the shorter underman rotation, still waiting on a couple of imports to be signed and then eventually arrive. Sam Dempster, such a key part of the Giants for so long, unavailable through injury. So they are leaning heavily on some guys here playing big minutes who probably normally wouldn't in a full strength rotation.
Absolutely, and just looking at these stats now, only 7 guys have actually got in the game. And that's difficult to play with, right? Going into that third quarter, you're playing a very physical and fast game, and you've only got 7 guys to lean on, 4 of which have already played a rapid league game, right? So, you know, they're exhausted and they're fatigued, and you start to make ill-disciplined decisions out of that fatigue.
And 2 of their key players too, and the 2 Dans, both with 3 fouls, Fotu and Greta, which just adds to the picture. Is you see plenty of merch in the stands as well. Great to see young fans out representing their team. Who knows, one day they'll be suiting up themselves here on the court as Fotu tries to create. It was just in a phone box there and couldn't get out, and eventually called for the travel.
Start to get in that mindset when you're desperate to score. You're just trying to force anything up. And Rams really taking advantage of that soft spot, just doubling him, which is a really smart move from Judd Flavel. Dan Fotu just wants to go to work down low, force into a vulnerable spot, and it works well in the Rams' favour once again.
Aiden Tonge back in, and with possession here as Lockie Ulbrich takes a seat. It's back now with the Rams captain Taylor Britt. Farrington. Britt, get into that left, behind the back, 20 feet, and gets the late whistle. McNaught, Bitt, excuse me, just trying to fit a rhyme in there. And Britt will head to shoot 2 from the free throw stripe.
See Tama Isaac back in the game as well. A handful of minutes for him tonight.
Taylor Britt makes the first, up to 15 points. Leading all scorers now, Dan Fotu with 14, all of which in the first half.
That's been a huge part of Rams' success coming into this third quarter, is keeping Dan Fotu scoreless. We knew he was going to be their focal point of their offense, and to slow his scoring down means you slow the Giants down in general. Not if Dan Greta has anything to say about it. Gets one to go, breaks the drought for the Giants.
Well, they needed that, didn't they?
Absolutely.
Certainly dry from a scoring perspective to just have 4 points to show 5 minutes into this third quarter. Can that stop the rut? Tonge, spin, cycle, finish with the right, excuse me. Razzle dazzle from Big Aiden.
We've spoken about his 3-on-3 excellence, and all the skills that he takes from there have really translated well to his 5-on-5 game, including his ability to get to the rim and finish around the rim.
17-point lead now for the Rams. What can the Giants do? Fotu from the corner. Darling dared him to fire. He couldn't get the desired result, the Giants. Big third quarter this, and you can just see the heads a little bit down for the visitors.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot more that Mike Fitchett can do for these guys. Not a lot going on down their bench that they can pull from. And if Dan Fotu's not scoring, it's going to be a hard rest of the game for the Giants.
It's certainly not through lack of effort. The Giants giving it absolutely everything. As Greta, this exemplifies that, flying through the air, tidying up that board. Now downhill, trying to do it all himself. Dan Greta putting this Giants team on his shoulders as the Isaac brothers combine. But Greta, where did he come from? How about that, Dan Greta? Well, he didn't get the bucket at the other end. Sprinted back to make amends. Here it is on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Still with the Rams though, here's Tama Isaac. Younger brother of Kai, what a nice move that was. Just didn't quite get the equilibrium there, and now Kai Isaac hits the floor. Can't keep it in bounds. But applause there from the Rams bench. They were happy with that. They liked the hustle, and they liked the initial drive too from Tama Isaac, who looks a player.
I mean, 100%. He doesn't look out of place here whatsoever at all. You know, only 17 years old, I believe, but looking like he's been a pro in this league for years. And that's a part of the offense they encourage, him getting downhill, especially after some rotation. And Aiden Tonge is working to get that offensive rebound. We know that it's worked well in their favor. Up to 15 offensive rebounds now for the Rams, and creating a lot of second chance opportunities.
Yeah, Aiden Tonge, 7 rebounds in all, 2 of them offensive, 6 points. Nearing on double-double territory off the bench. Really good impacts. Well, the man wearing number 0. Sporting a fabulous moustache as well, must be said. As Nick Davidson now looks to get to work, and that's a nice finish from a man who had a field day in the Sky Broadband rapidly.
And had a field day doing just that, getting downhill, head on the rim. Will be nice for the Giants to pull a little bit more from him. Haven't seen a lot of that so far in the Sal's NBL game.
Oh, Tama Isaac, baseline drive. Max Darling follows it up and hammers it home. Hangs on the rim and enjoys it after.
Big smile on his face as he comes back down the other end. I envy that type of athleticism, Nick.
9 points now for Darling. And that's a much-needed 3 for the Giants.
Nick Davidson, back-to-back buckets. Obviously, Dan Greta and Dan Futu slowed down in their scoring, so now it's up to these other guys to show them what they got, show them the next up.
5 quick points for Davidson as Britt finds Tonge down low. And there's that familiarity, that cohesion, that chemistry that the Rams can just lean on from seasons gone. And they're really just picking up from where they left off in season 2023.
Absolutely, and that was getting a chip, which I'd look to do once again in this season. And if you're the Giants, you just can't afford to keep trading buckets at this point. Obviously, 2 quick buckets there from Nick Davidson, but can't afford to just go down the other end and let Rams eat up like that.
8 points, 7 boards now for Tonge. Albrook, 11 and 8, verging on double-double territory. Taylor Britt with 16, leading all scorers. And probably the big tick for Rams coach Judd Flavel was just keeping Dan Futu quiet. Scoreless here in the 3rd quarter. And there he is, just there in the, just out of sight in the left corner, waiting for something. Oh, almost created there by Alex McNaught, who does get the whistle.
Absolutely. Obviously, he was a force to be reckoned with from the get-go. 14 early points, like you said, Nick. But now just hiding him away in the corner and letting these other guys go to work. Obviously, defensive strategy from halftime from Judd has been successful.
And surely, as we've alluded to, has to be an element to fatigue there, playing a part. As you mentioned, not only the focal point by and large on offense, but having a body up on Lockie Albrook down at the other end. So that's going to take the most out of most as McNaught makes the first.
Yeah, the guards are really just the ones keeping the Giants in it at the moment. Alex McNaught and Nick Davidson getting downhill on their right hand. Not much to offer from either of the Dans.
As McNaught makes them both. Cuts it to 14. Can the Giants get a much-needed stop here with 2 minutes and change to go in the 3rd? Rams lead by 14. There's Tama Isaac. Big contact down low. There's McNaught as well on the floor. And it is a push, an offensive foul. Tama Isaac, we'll take a look at the replay there. Not quite sure. I think it was just An accidental slip, if anything.
I think a little bit of the stitch up. You saw him attacking off that go screen, had a really good look, slipped, and then I think Alex just tripped on him. Obviously, a really unfortunate situation, but for the Giants, puts them in a relatively good opportunity now to close in on that lead once again.
Yeah, I think they're back in the bonus as well. As Judd Flavel there, having a good old chat with head of the officiating crew, Marty Davidson.
An ex-Ram himself.
Ex-Ram himself. Just on that, great to see, and this is across any sport, players staying involved in the sport, and especially down the officiating or refereeing side. So often we see, I'm not like poo-pooing Casey Frank getting into commentary, but getting into commentary, getting into coaching, and how good getting into refereeing or getting into officiating. Without the crew, we're nowhere. We don't have a game.
I totally agree, and he's an elevated understanding of the game, having played it himself, which makes him a great referee.
Mana Martin might have been there with the final touch. Opens his account. The Rams back out to that 16-point lead. McNaught. Here is Davidson. He's in this 5 points here in the third quarter. Loose handle, but last touch by the Rams.
Just saw off that screen and roll, all bodies flying at Dan Fotu, disallowing any catch on the roll. Dan Fotu just has no answer for the Rams' swarming strategy at the moment.
And again, using Fotu in that left corner. Greta fights through the Martin defense to take possession. Great work there by the youngster, forcing the turnover on the Aussie import. How good.
It's got to be a tick up on the resume for 16-year-old Mana. Forces him into that baseline, which is just an extra defender. He'll be happy about that one.
Where do the Rams go here? Taylor Britt back in. Tama Isaac takes a seat. Mana Martin in the corner. Finds Kaya Isaac. Will this be the moment he breaks out of this three-point rut? Not to be just yet. Max Darling. Oh, almost. The early season contender for Dunk of the Year, Max Darling. We know he's got hops. That was oh so close.
How many appearances can he get in one highlight reel? Dan Fotu still cold as ice.
Here come the Rams once more. 40 seconds left in this third quarter. As Britt gets to the left. Again, uncharacteristic there. Usually eats them up. As Fotu comes downhill. Greta with the dribble. High arcing three, but well off. And now Isaac pushes the pace. Martin, just didn't get the feet quite right. Good work there by Ingham. And the offensive foul is called on the young Ram with 18.6 seconds to go in the third.
I like that he's looking to go downhill, though. He's known as an athletic wing player. He's looking to score in trans and put pressure on Giants' defensive trans strategy. And it's not a bad look for the youngster, but again, it's those little things once you get to an elevated level of play that you're not used to, where you make little mistakes like that.
Shot clock's off. Nick Davidson with possession. Can the Giants eat into this 16-point lead as the defense chant rings around Cowles Stadium? Davidson with Martin in front, crossover, and lovely finish. Nick Davidson, what a third quarter from him. 7 points as Tama Isaac puts up a prayer, but it was all Rams there in that third quarter. They lead 63 points to 49.
An absolute
Welcome back, Cowles Stadium in Christchurch with the Canterbury Rams, the 2023 Sal's NBL champions, looking to go 1-0 to open season 2024 on a night where the 1992 banner got a bit of company. Maya, 31 years between drinks for the Canterbury Rams. The 2023 banner now hoisted high here at the Canterbury Rams home. The Giants, 14-point deficit here. The Rams did lead by 6 at the half. Now open that up to 14 with a quarter to play. Can the Giants find something deep in the tank as Britt now drains a 3 to open the fourth? He's up to 19 points.
Giants came out in an early 2-3 zone, and T. Britt just makes them pay. Only the Rams' second successful three-point shot this game. Very uncharacteristic.
And that's the thing that'll encourage going forward for the Rams, those missed opportunities out there, particularly from deep. And they've still very much bossed, particularly that third quarter. As Darling finds Ulbrich, that connection starting to blossom, but Lockie Ulbrich unable to put that one up and in there. Is 4-2 now, downhill. And we'll get an opportunity to shoot two, having gone scoreless in the third.
He'll be hunting to make these two free throws. You can just see an extra spark of energy in him, just trying to go downhill and force something to go on that right hand. It's a very big part of his game, but we saw late in that third quarter, he just sat in the corner and barely touched the ball. Something very uncharacteristic again from Dan Fortu.
Fortu makes the first. Such a great get, though, for the Nelson Giants, and you feel like with those two imports still to come at some stage, it's going to be a real force to be reckoned with, this Giants team. And such an even competition that the Sal's NBL is. But gee whiz, Maya, hasn't there been some off-season movement, particularly with the Kiwis, Fortu obviously being one of them. The Hawks obviously lost a whole bunch of players up to the Bulls. The Tuatara adding Vodonovic and Webster, Hiram Harris. I've probably forgotten about, I don't know, a dozen, but there's just a few that have come to mind. What are you made of it all?
Oh, well, the GMs have certainly done some work over the off-season. Really cool to see some locals trade jerseys and go some new places. I'm particularly excited to see how the Bulls shape up with a whole new local roster and some huge guys too. Really cool to see a really high caliber level of local talent in the Sal's NBL.
Britt trying to get something going again, and no whistle. He's not too happy about that. Of course, Wednesday nights, every week this Sal's NBL season. We're the guinea pigs, Maya, but we have debuted on the Sky Sport TikTok, not just here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, but globally. Thanks so much for everyone who has joined our coverage on TikTok. Just another audience for us to reach, and you can bet your bottom dollar we will be there every Wednesday night game this season. There will be a Sal's NBL game live on TikTok. Fantastic collaboration to connect to. I mean, look at all the young people here. I don't really know who is on TikTok, although
don't act like you're not on TikTok.
Although my wife does give me grief that I sit there and go down a rabbit hole quite a bit. But look, it is, if it connects with a few more people that then come through the doors and experience this game live, then it's a massive win for this competition.
That's what it's all about, right? Rated E for entertainment specifically. And I know we're reaching a wide range of people, like you said, on the TikTok platform. And again, Sal's NBL always looking for ways to be innovative and entertain our fans at home that make the league go round.
Just quietly on that, and I know it's opening night, but mid-season trade window introduced in 2024.
You've gone and mentioned it, Nick.
I've gone real early. I've gone real early. But look, it'll be interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm sure down the line there will be moves. Maybe not a heap in season 2024, but I think as the leaderboard starts to take shape, rosters, injuries, etc., it's just going to add another layer of intrigue to this competition.
100%. I'm excited to see it unfold. Can't predict what's going to happen, but what a great challenge as well for coaches to navigate. Just another thing to add to their plate.
Aston Inwood, he's had a good night. He was very involved too in Sky Broadband Rapid League. Getting that up and in. So certainly signs of encouragement here for Coach Fitchett of the Giants as Inwood tidies up there. A 13-point ball game. Just under 8 minutes remaining as the Rams look to cap off a special night, raising a championship banner here at Cowles with a dub. Ingham now, baseline drive, kicks it to Davidson, finds Greta. Really good defensive work here by the Rams and young Tama Isaac as the bank was almost open there for Greta. But it's just that kind of night at the moment for Nelson.
Seemed like a perfect defensive position there for the Rams. Just see 4 bodies swarming on Fotu, forcing him to kick, and then great containment of that dribble drive, forcing them into a pretty tough shot, and then a foul on the rebound.
Rams don't want to get complacent here, of course. 13-point advantage. Sitting here with Tessa Biagni in season 2023. The amount of times I felt like a comfortable lead was held and within minutes gone. We need to be mindful of that as Greta gets up and meets Darling. Great effort there by the Aussie.
That's 2 or 3 highlight blocks from him today, I think.
He is all effort, Dan Greta. Perfect teammate. And I imagine when you're doing the scout, just the one guy you don't want to come up against. But yeah, like I say, very happy to play alongside.
And also to see him return back to the Giants, obviously was here in the 2018-2019 season. So cool to see him come back to Nelson and be a revitalized player too, a lot more experience and athleticism under his belt.
There's Darling in this corner. Albrecht likes this matchup with Inwood, got the size advantage, finds Farrington in the corner. Can't get that 3 to go. Late whistle though. And it might be still the way of the Rams. Yeah, holding call on Aston Inwood. So shot clock reset to 14 seconds. Taylor Britt with it, and just a complete miscommunication there. 4-2 facing back out towards the court and did not have eyes for Guy Isaac.
Pretty tough to win games if you're going to give up open looks like that.
Taylor Britt still fighting for every possession, leading all scorers tonight with 19. And how about that? Nick Davidson is just, as mentioned earlier in the call, he's had himself a night. 13 points in Rapid League, and he's brought that form through to the Sal's NBL, up to 9 points off the bench now. We'll see a lot of that, I feel, in season 2024, Maya. They'll play the hot hand, the coaches from Rapid League. Give guys opportunity. Yes, the Giants are undermanned, but Davidson making every post a winner. It's great to see.
Absolutely, he played with such poise in that Rapid League game. I don't doubt the way that it's transferred over. And I think he's got a lot of momentum behind him, especially with Dan Fotu slowing down and scoring. They have to turn to somebody else, and he's decided it's going to step up and be him.
That was a 4th foul for Fotu. As Max Darling heads to the line and makes the first. Darling up to 12 points. Make that 13 to go along with 6 rebounds and a steal. Just a very reliable contributor. Big part of this Rams unit. Is just only going to get better, you feel. Best basketball very much still ahead of him.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Still a young guy, and obviously in his 3-year deal with the Breakers at the moment. So huge, huge future ahead of him. Saw an in-season development for him in the 2023 season, and we've seen another step up from then to now. So you can only imagine what the trajectory is for him going forward.
Crowd very much getting into it when there's free stuff on offer, as you can hear in the background there as the two teams go through some comments from their respective coaches at a timeout. 6 minutes and change to play. Rams with a 15-point lead. Of course, be pleased but mindful. Job not quite done. 6 minutes, long time basketball.
It's important to not become complacent, especially because this year every point matters, right? So Giants not going to stop competing until they hear that last buzzer. And 15 points, it's not a lot at the end of the day.
Huge week and weekend of basketball still to come here on Sky Sport. Really looking forward to see the Fi making their debut in the Cowles NBL tomorrow night, 7:30 in Tauranga, hosting the Hawke's Bay Hawks. And a double header Saturday. It's Easter weekend, so give everyone a bit of time. And the Nuggets and the Sharks and the Jets and the Airs. And it's back on home floor for the Giants. Quick turnaround, hosting the Bulls. Followed by an intriguing contest to round out the opening round, Maya. Wellington Saints, Auckland Tuatara. That'll be spicy.
That'll be spicy indeed. What a great word to describe it. There's some picks that could go all the way. They really could go all the way. Put some really nice rosters together in this off-season. Dan Fotu, finally.
Well, the Tuatara have done everything but win it at the last dance.
To put it nicely.
Assembled a couple of brilliant rosters and have so again this season. Dumping a fair amount of their cap on their 5 starters. But, yeah, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Looking forward to seeing what they'll do again under Aaron Young. Is Farrington, a former Tuatara member. Just leaving that 3 a touch short. And off to the left is McNaught now. To Davidson, who's just oozing confidence. As the ball pinballs around, eventually ends up in the hands of Kaya Isaac. Farrington, the nice 8 to 10 footer. And the Giants back down the other end. McNaught won't die wondering.
Fast-paced few minutes here for both teams, and Taylor Britt will take charge, slowing things down just that little bit. Nick Davidson has nothing to do other than foul or get dominated.
And we saw the big dunk off the inbound. What was that, second quarter from Ulbrich? He can get up. And yeah, business decision there by Nick Davidson. Subs in with Aiden Tonge for Max Darling. Big game too off the bench. Aiden Tonge, you know, they really haven't lost much when Tonge has come in, continue to dominate the glass. Just does all those intangibles so well.
And that's really just testament to the big step up that he's taken. I feel like I'm saying that for a lot of these guys, but he really has come a far way from his 2023 season. And you're right, just does all the right things.
Ulbrich now up to 13 points, 1 rebound away from a double-double to open his Rams career.
Not bad from a 20-year-old.
And early doors, but he just seems a very nice fit for this Canterbury Rams roster. Now heading downhill through Taylor Britt, who has carried that offensive load tonight. Can he get it up beyond 20 points? No, he can't.
Not sure what else you can give Taylor Britt. Lockie Ulbrich there with the good tart screen. Taylor Britt wide open and still missing the bunny. But again, you can't just give him those opportunities on his left hand.
Yeah, Taylor Britt leading the way with 19 points, but I feel like if you spoke to him post-game, he'd feel like he left a lot out there just looking at the box score. 7 from 18, 38% from the field, 2 from 4 from 3. That's been a very good Taylor Britt performance, don't get me wrong, but he'll know could have been a bit better. Is Hayden Jones. Beautiful drive and finish off the right, his first bucket of the evening.
Yeah, pretty quiet night from Hayden Jones. Was expecting to see a little bit more, but nice to see him being aggressive and getting downhill Very versatile guy. We've seen that at his age group. So nice to see him getting downhill and attacking that mismatch. That's Lockie Olbrich.
Just 17 years of age. Hayden Jones starting tonight. 7 games in season 2023. Tall Blacks debut, as you mentioned earlier in the call. Maya earlier this year. Massive potential as Taylor Britt spins, gets to that left and draws the foul.
Really great team effort as well from the Rams, I think, here today. They're scoring very well distributed. Like we said, Taylor not having a lot of luck on that left-hand layup recently. But Lockie Olbrich with 13, Max Darling with 13, and Taki and Kaya just tiptoeing on that 10-point range.
Yeah, Aiden Tonge as well with 8. It has been a collective effort, and I guess that will be the pleasing thing for coach Judd Flavel, who then has to somehow fit in Walter Brown, who's of course over with the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. Such a massive impact on that 2023 championship winning team, as well as a couple of American imports. MJ Walker, shooting guard primarily, and KJ Buffin as well, respectively in the G League and over in Finland at the moment. So the Rams, it's only going to go up, but there's certainly some rotation conundrums to come for Coach Flavel.
100%, but what a great problem to have, right? Looking down your bench and not knowing which of the talented guys you can put on is a problem that not every coach has. And we are very valuable to have that. Obviously, the addition of MJ, KJ, and Walter will extend the offense just so much more and give us a variety of options going forward.
Us? The Rams.
The Rams.
Don't want to be called. Don't want to be called biased. Yeah.
Who said that?
At Sky, mate.
Hey, Taranaki was my pick to win.
Okay.
No one-eyed Canterbury around here.
3:28 to play here in the fourth quarter. Rams with a 16-point buffer. Nelson certainly hung tough there in that first half, first quarter time, 21-20 down. Half-time, 42-36. It was really that third quarter where the Rams came out of that half-time break out of a cannon, really, and the Giants just couldn't recover.
Giants just lost all the momentum going to that third quarter, and they're scoring just an absolute drought while Rams just hammered down on them. And it just really hasn't been the same for the Giants ever since. Their lack of depth really proving here in this final quarter.
Here's Alex McNaught now. Hayden Jones looking aggressive here in this fourth quarter. Can't get the layup to go. As Britt now brings it up. 20 points for Taylor Britt. Well over last season's average. 9 a game. Is Darling now. Oh, acrobatic effort in mid-air from Max Darling, who's up to 15 points.
Great recognition of the mismatch and numbers there. Back to a cut from both him and Kaya Isaac. But Dan Greeder has an answer. Keeps the Giants within 15.
Yeah, Greeder up to 12 points. Real effort player here for the NBS Nelson Giants is Farrington now. Like that one off the hand, just couldn't get it to fall. It's Fortu, great work there, chasing back Lockie Olbrich. It's Isaac back to Olbrich now, and he just pops it up and in. Lovely touch in and around the rim. And Lockie Olbrich's up to 15 points.
He's had himself a debut night, that's for sure. Rams utilising him very nicely.
That double-double is in. Just to snatch that tense rebound there at some stage as Greeder. We heat check there. Can't get that 3 to go, but the Giants will get another opportunity. As McNaught draws the foul on big Lockie Olbrich. And that might be him done, is it? And 5th foul. And a timeout called. 1:53 to go. Rams up by 17. And this was where you mentioned earlier, Maya. Obviously the game more or less gone for now. The Rams should get the job done 99 times out of 100 from here. But with for and against, what's going to separate these two teams if they are on that tied win-loss record. You really want to avoid blowouts at all costs. Got to play every possession, every bucket matters.
Another great innovation right from the NZNBL to incentivise competitiveness and not just become complacent in these final minutes. And I think that really encourages some more entertainment for these fans as well, keeping us engaged, and definitely pushes their young guys too.
Interesting stat there just popped up on the score graphic. 8 blocks to 0. The Giants have got up and contested at the hoop. But then it sometimes feels like the second chance opportunities just fall in the way of the Rams after the block. You know, for all the Giants' defensive effort, then those second chance opportunities come. 22 second chance points for the Rams. That's a significant number.
And Mike Fitchett almost foreshadowing that before the game, right? He knew that was going to be an issue for them. And just their lack of size, it means that the types of Lockie Ulbrich and Max Darling and Aiden Tonge have just gone to work on those offensive rebounds.
Well, they are on the hunt for an import big, along with a guard. And watch this space is all I can say, Giants fans. I'm sure we'll get some news soon as Greta, nice high arcing three, and that's his spot there in the right corner.
Yeah, he's shown he can really do it all tonight. Believe that might be his third successful three-point shot.
Nick Davidson has raised his hand there, my bad. He's saying to his teammates, can't fault the energy and willingness of Nick Davidson this evening. As Kai Isaac makes his way over to the coaching bench. But Farrington will shoot 2 from the free throw stripe here to build on this 14-point lead.
And just notably, number 35, James Matthews, now in the game as well. A young player, year 12 from Nelson Boys College, and his debut Nelson Giants game as well.
Part of that secondary school title-winning team, I believe, was it last year? Do they go all the way, or do they get...
He's actually Nelson Boys
College.
Nelson
Boys, excuse me, Waimea.
He was part of that under-17 team.
Get him a school geography around there. Yeah.
These Giants fans listening too, Nick. Be careful.
Yeah. I don't want to get into a school debate here on opening night on Sky Sport. I get enough of that just walking around Christchurch every afternoon. 1 minute and change remain. 14-point ball game here. It's the Rams going to cap off a big night here in the O3 at Cowles Stadium, where their 2023 championship banner now hangs alongside those in 1986, 89, 90 and 92.
All from memory. Good job, Nick.
Thanks, Maya. Feel like we're going to have a lot of fun this season, Maya.
I agree. And it's rated E for entertainment, right?
That's it. And the Rams cleared their bench a little. Max Darling, Taylor Britt, among those to make way. Mana Martin, Tama Isaac, Ihaka Kate onto the court in 10. And Corbin Mason is waiting for his boarding pass as well, as that falls in. Nick Davidson, I feel like I've said his name about 1,000 times over the last 3 hours, but he's now in double digits. Double digits in Sky Broadband Rapid League, double digits in NZNBL. That's pretty impressive.
He's had himself a night, that's for sure. He's known, he's been that go-to guy in the second half, taking it with pride.
Hugo Gonzalez up on his feet as well, might get an opportunity here potentially, but inward layup doesn't go in, but it eventually gets there by, I believe it might have been the young fella, James Matthews. As a timeout is called. 10-point game all of a sudden, but of course they've been very comfortable for quite some time now, the Canterbury Rams. And good to see Judd Flavel there upholding standards right through 39 minutes and 45 seconds. He was not happy with what just transpired there. Didn't need to call the timeout. Yes, wants to get some young guys on the court, but he is, he sets a very high bar and you need to meet it.
Absolutely, and when I spoke to him before the game, he said, yeah, it's all good and well winning a 2023 championship, but you're looking forward to the 2024 one, right? And it's not just about winning today's game, it's about how you're playing in these games to follow, and holding them to these high standards from the get-go just sets those expectations, especially for those young guys, to know what is expected of them and what is the standard of play at this level.
Well, here's a very young 5 out on the floor here for the Rams. Mana Martin, Kai Isaac, Hugo Gonzalez, Corbin Mason, and Ihaka Kate. So a cool opportunity for them here late, 15.7 seconds on the game clock. 14-second shot clock. Got a prediction here, Maya? Who's the ball going to end up in the hands of? Who's going to put up this shot?
Hugo Gonzalez is getting a bucket here. I've got a feeling.
Here is Tama Isaac. Good pressure there by Matthews. Martin with space. Oh, wasn't far away. Matthews tidies up. Can they get one last shot up here? Davidson, I don't think he's beaten the game clock. Oh, went up and in. Everything was falling for Nick Davidson tonight, but unfortunately not able to contribute towards a win. But the Canterbury Rams go 1-0. They pick up from where they left off in season 2023. Final score, Canterbury Rams 79, Nelson Giants 69. Taylor Britt leading all scorers with 20 points tonight. 3 players in double digits for the Canterbury Rams. Lachlan Ulbrich on debut with 15 points to go along with 10 rebounds. And Max Darling as well, 15 points, 8 rebounds. They feasted on the glass, it's fair to say, the Canterbury Rams tonight. 57 rebounds in all to 37 for Nelson. And that contributed a big part to why they walk away tonight as victors. As we send it down sideline, looks like Maya Williamson has Taylor Britt.
All right, great opening win for you guys, but it was a tough one in the first half. What was holding you back initially?
Yeah, fouls. We haven't played against another team. I guess we're fouling each other too much at training, so just got to tone that back a bit in the first half. I think we did a pretty good job in the second.
Yeah, you came out electric in that second half. What was Judge's locker room chat to you guys and advice coming into the second half to play a really good half like that?
Yeah, just keep getting pressure on the hoop. Their zone threw us off a little bit in the first half, so just attacking that like we do a man, that was big for us.
And with that, what are some key takeaways for you going into your game against Franklin Bulls in about a week and a half time?
They're a pretty good team, so we'll just get back to it. I know they got a lot of Kiwi blokes there, some good shooters, easy batch. So yeah, we'll be ready to go.
Good luck for that.
Taylor Britt there with Maya Williamson.
Thank you.
20 points for T-Britt tonight, carrying that offensive load as the Rams thank their faithful who have turned out in their droves here at Cowles Stadium on a very cool autumnal March evening as we take a look at the key stats courtesy of our official stats partner, the Chemist Warehouse. And how about that, as Maya just takes a position back with me here in the commentary spot. Aiden Tonge with 10 rebounds as well. It wasn't just the impact of Ulbrich and Darling in the starting unit, but Aiden Tonge had a really impressive night off the bench.
Yeah, and he knew he had that space to step up. Obviously, we wait for some 2 big guys with Walter Brown and KJ Buffin coming in, and he knew it was his night to step up, and he did just that.
On the Giants side, we alluded to it a fair bit, just been a bit undermanned at the minute, waiting on a couple of imports to be signed and eventually arrive. Sam Dempster as well, such a key part of the fabric of this Nelson Giants side, the heart and soul, if you will. But still, I feel signs of encouragement there for coach Mike Fitchett. Dan Fotu, in particular, starting with a hiss and a roar with 14 of his 18 points coming in that first half.
100%. They're only going to get better from here. And we saw great things from both Dan Fotu and Dan Greta. And not to mention a great second half from Nick Davidson. I think it's very much promising for them going forward.
Yeah, really like the look of Greta as well. 15 points. All effort, 8 rebounds, led the rebounding there for the NBS Nelson Giants. Not to mention 2 steals, 3 blocks yeah, he was just absolutely everywhere tonight, and yeah, really encouraging, not only for the Giants to get him back, they obviously left a really good impression on him when he was last here, but for him to hit the ground running here in 2024.
Yeah, he really embodied that, the effect that what an import should have, and he was really much across the board. Really impressive from him tonight, and just that go-getter hustle guy that you need.
Huge games to come here in the first round of season 2024 Cowles NBL. Tomorrow night, don't miss it, starting with Sky Broadband Rapid League, the debut of the FI, the 11th team in our competition in season 2024, hosting the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Our coverage here on Sky Sport will start at 6:30. The Cowles NBL action from 7:30. But that'll do us here from Cowles Stadium in Christchurch. Thanks so much for your company here on Sky Sport and Aotearoa and on TikTok globally. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will be back here in a few weeks. I believe we've got the Tuatara in town. Really looking forward to that one. Good night.